Okay, I think we're about to go live here.
Yep, we are live on Facebook. Hey,
Finally, we got it.
It's Smoking Aces live with Doug Kaufman in charge. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
We're screwed now.
Oh, Brian Birch wants in. And tonight, George is MIA. He's actually at Bryce's game that got rescheduled, I think, for tonight. So I'm hosting, and it's a relatively condensed version. We got Suds, we got Zolt, and Mr. Burrich. Akers is nowhere to be found. But
once again.
Yeah, I know, right?
His wife must have him tied up somewhere.
So let's get the ball rolling. You got no music because he didn't give it to me.
By the way,
music.
By the way, George is saying he's at this game. He's actually working on a piece for the show. He's out in the field. He's 9 o'clock. He's going to come in and tell us his piece is about how aardvarks are helping stop the spread of poison ivy.
Sounds good.
I thought maybe he'd come in with like an interview.
You know what? You joke about this shit. I just read an article on the coronavirus that people over 6 feet tall are more likely to get the coronavirus than anybody else.
Ooh, thank God. I'm sorry, Doug.
Doug, we're screwed.
Me and Suds and I are.
Yeah,
we're screwed.
I'm too.
Listen, I haven't measured myself in a while, height-wise. And I was 6 foot and 3/4 inches tall. I'm 47 years old. I may not be have that issue anymore. I haven't been measured height-wise in a long time. I might not be there anymore. I could be safe from the coronavirus.
Well, suck it, Suds. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, listen. At least I fucking show up. This is Akers, baby.
Yeah.
And his ass doesn't show up almost every week. Fuck Akers.
F you, Akers.
F you. Okay. Now we just got the ball rolling.
We covered all of our bases.
Yes.
Yeah, F you, Akers, you piece of shit.
So where do we want to start?
Let's start with the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, let's start with the Marlins.
The Marlins?
Who those dumb son of a bitches decided they wanted to go to partying and all ended up with the coronavirus.
They got some bad strains, I'll tell you that.
17 players. No, 15 players and 2 coaches. Now, George brought up, when I talked to him earlier, he brought up a point of, don't you have these 30-man reserve players?
Yes.
But the Florida Marlins
why aren't they enacted?
Because the Marlins are almost a reserve team anyways.
That's number one.
All the more reason to enact them.
They might get replaced, so they don't want to play. They might take the reserves.
Well, here's the thing. They call up the reserves. They have a greater chance now with all these players and coaches being quarantined because they tested positive. Those call-ups are just they might just get it just as much as them now.
Lose me.
Yep, you're frozen.
Who, me?
Yeah,
no, not
you're.
Zolt was.
Ooh, that was weird.
I was like,
it's a flash freeze.
I thought I saw everybody moving. I'm like, oh damn.
No, Zolt was out for a moment.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. If you bring these guys up, they get a chance just to catch it just as much as everybody else. So why would you want to chance it and to screw up the season totally?
I mean, right now, the entire team is all the active players that were playing are all still stuck in Philly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're in a bubble in Philly.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in agreement as far as bring up the damn guys that are just sitting there waiting to play. It's one thing if, we're going to postpone a game or two to get test results and figure out what's going on. But correct me if I'm wrong. Their timeline right now is they're missing like 6 games.
6 games. And now you're just not messing with your own 6-game schedule.
Yeah.
You've got 3 games with the Yankees.
Orioles.
The Orioles series is messed up too.
Yep.
It's a whole domino effect.
Yeah. You're now
when are you going to be able to get in these makeup games? when you only have a tight window to begin with.
A lot of doubleheaders.
Yeah, and that's just it. You're screwing up other teams' schedules for
All of them
makeup
in.
games that you don't have time for.
Right. So in that, okay, take 9 players a day from your reserve squad. You 9 up. You're going to Philly tomorrow, or you're going to Baltimore tomorrow. You guys, you're Wednesday. You guys are Thursday. Rotate them if you have to. I mean, they're there for a reason. Utilize them.
Yep.
Yeah, I also heard that that Major League Baseball, because of what's going on with Florida, that if there's going to be a lot of doubleheaders, they're thinking about going the minor league route, where if they do doubleheaders, they're going to do
Split squad?
7. No, they're going to do 7-inning games
shorten
instead
the
of
games.
9-inning games. Minor leagues for years.
We're going to be YMCA rules.
Yeah.
Well, no. Minor league baseball has had this enacted for at least 20 years, maybe longer, where if you play a doubleheader in the minor leagues, the games are 7-inning games instead of the 9-inning games. So I can see them maybe trying to enact that just so. Christ.
Yeah.
Man, I thought we got rid of his ass. Damn it.
I can see them.
What's up?
You just offended Suds.
Not Z.
Why was that?
Because he showed.
You showed.
Actually, he wanted Akers.
Yes,
to show.
he did. He wanted Akers here.
He did want.
But I heard that the players union actually sent out a memo to all the players saying, "Hey, there might be in-season rule changes, so just be prepared. So this way they can deal with everything."
Well, I mean, I think we all understand this is completely fluid as we go on. I mean, every day is different. So totally understand that part. It's just a matter of getting to a point where you're playing and you can't just be sitting on the sidelines doing nothing for a week.
I have to address something because of Mr. Akers. Hold on for a second. You have to address this. Oh no, you didn't see the post? I appreciate it, dude. That was awesome. Thanks for the jersey, dude. I called George, man. I was pumped. I was like, someone sent me a jersey. So this fool thought it'd be funny. Him and George thought they'd play a practical joke on me and send Tuna Takaloa, whatever the fuck his name is, and send me his jersey. And I got it in the mail, and I pulled it out. I'm like, dude, this is great. And I called George up, and I said, who sent me this? This is awesome. And I was all pumped up, and George was like, this is not how I thought this conversation was going to go. He goes, I know. Dude, thanks, man. Think about it. If he becomes a Hall of Famer, you just gave me an NFL Hall of Fame jersey for free.
Yep.
And if he becomes a criminal, I still win. He joins the criminal team for the rest. So, and at some point in time, we're going to do one of those episodes where we do the biggest scrubs of all time. It's possible. So either way, I'm looking at wins.
He could be a winner on all fronts, right? So.
Yeah. He could be a complete bust for this year, be a Hall of Famer 2 years from now, and break the law, set out a couple of games, and I hit it out of the park. So I appreciate it, man. I love this jersey.
I was sitting there laughing when we were going through the shirts and all that, and I'm going, oh my God, what's such a size? And George is like, why? I turn around, and he's like, shut up.
Listen, I can't say my homie's name either. Go ahead and send me his jersey too, please.
Yeah, he's hard to find.
Oh yeah, I'm quite sure.
Dude,
So
he was like,
yeah.
I that's not how I thought this conversation was gonna go. I'm like, dude, it's great.
I know you definitely side George and I.
But I agree. Getting back to the Marlins, it's a different thing every day. I mean, just like the Indians. The Indians are playing the White Sox. Rick Renteria. Yeah, I think it was Renteria is the White Sox head coach, and he didn't feel well the day before their first game against the Indians. So he went to the Cleveland Clinic, got tested, and they said no, he's negative. So it's a day by day thing. Unless for the NBA or the NHL where you're in the bubble where nothing's going to happen because you guys are not leaving. For Major League Baseball, it's going to be a day-to-day thing. It's just going to be a big struggle.
Yeah, and
this is the 6 games we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
All right.
At least you had somebody that did the right thing, didn't feel good, and removed himself from the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to Florida.
To a party.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to the NFL, what it's going to boil down to is on Friday before they fly out, every person has to be tested.
Yeah.
And then from right there on out, they're in a isolated bubble.
Well,
Yep.
I also saw some from the NFL Players Union that if they test positive for the coronavirus and they find out that they got it from somewhere where it was you're not supposed to be, they can actually be fined.
Yes.
For getting the coronavirus, which is weird, but it's weird, you know.
So are we looking at when they do the double headers, are we looking at that trying to be a possibility of trying to get them going back? Because I was sitting here thinking about that. When they do the double headers, it doesn't matter where they're played because there's no ticket sales. So I'm like, for an example, let's take Baltimore because they're the 3 games that were supposed to be played tomorrow and Friday and was it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday game? They're the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday game with them this weekend. They can be played in Baltimore or played in Florida. It doesn't. I mean, where were they supposed to be playing at? Were they supposed to be in Florida? Either way, it doesn't matter.
Actually, I think they were supposed to be in Baltimore, and then this weekend they were supposed to go back down to Miami.
The only thing that it does is it screws up the rosters because if they do double headers, that's the only thing that's going to screw up is the players are playing 6 games in 3 days. You know.
Again, that's where you have your traveling squad.
Well, here's another thing. You know,
call up a couple players.
They have a 30-man roster right now, and a couple of days. Next week, they go down to 28, and then 2 weeks after that, they go to 26. Do they come back and say, you know what, with all the shit that's going on, do we just keep it at 30-man roster so that way teams have enough players around?
I would think they do that, and I would think they make that decision real damn quick here.
But hey, it's baseball.
If these SOBs went to a strip bar, it comes out that they went to a strip bar and they ended up with a coronavirus, or they went to some inappropriate place and ended up, their asses should be fine.
Right, but here's the thing: Major League Baseball. Look at when they wanted, they went to the Canadian government to get Toronto can play 3 weeks before the season started. The NHL went to the Canadian government 3 months before the season restarted.
Right.
It's Major League Baseball. They do everything at the last second.
Slow. Yeah. Yeah, they won't do anything for about Monday's games or what's going on with the Florida Marlins probably about Friday.
This was just not planned out very well.
No.
Yeah, and I kind of would like to touch on real quick how this whole thing went down, at least as far as I understand it. I've been doing my 11, 12-hour days, so if I miss something, I miss something. But my understanding is, Friday, 1 person tested positive. Saturday, 3 more tested positive. And then Sunday, they have a team meeting and decide that they're going to play.
That's the thing that kicks everybody in the ball.
I'm going to 100% steal something from the radio guy I heard yesterday, which was, where the hell was the adult in the room?
Bingo.
I mean,
bingo.
Well, how is the league not just stepping in and saying that you don't make that decision? You don't get to make that call whether you play or not.
Rob Manfred, 2 words. Not to say it because I think he's probably the most inept commissioner we have right now. He's just
overall between the big 4, probably.
Oh yeah, and it's some like when 14, 15 players and a couple staff members from Marlins get tested positive, and he says, I don't think it's that bad of a problem. Come on, it's a bad problem.
On your standard roster, that's more than half your team.
Right. Yeah. I agree with Zoll. No adult showed up whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, didn't something similar happen in the during spring training down in Florida itself with the Marlins? Or am I
that I don't remember. But yeah, it's there was no adults whatsoever. I mean, wouldn't you, as a head coach, of a team, Don Manley, hello, wouldn't you maybe a little bit back in your brain say, maybe this is not good? I mean, it seems like he's been around baseball for a long time. Everybody knows the situation that's going on. Wouldn't there be a little bit of doubt in your head saying, you know what? Even though they said we should play, maybe we should get a hold of someone in the major league office and talk about this and see if they, what they think about it. That's the kicker right there. That no one talked to anybody.
Yeah,
just the players themselves.
Yeah,
we're playing. Okay.
Hey, Akers, this is not karaoke, carpool karaoke, man. Are you gonna get on the computer at some point in time?
You know what my go-to song is for karaoke?
What's that?
Tequila.
Fair enough.
One word.
And there goes Akers.
Nah.
Thank you, Suds.
No problem.
No, yeah, it's a day-by-day situation with Major League Baseball. You don't know where it's going to go. You literally don't know what corner. But if you turn a corner, what the hell's going to be in front of you?
But they set this up. Most of them, obviously not the NFL, but a lot of you gave them the ability to break the rules without consequences.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at what dipshit. I think it's from the Clippers. He goes out.
Lou Williams.
Was it
Yes.
Lou Williams?
Yeah, Lou Williams
Goes to the strip bar to pick up hot wings.
Here's
up some wings.
He went to a best friend's father's funeral in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and he was hungry.
Awake, by the way. It wasn't the actual funeral he went to.
No, yeah, so he went to the wake. He was hungry, so he says everybody knows on the team that his place to get food at is a strip club. So he went there, and the rapper, some rapper, I don't even know who the hell he is, posted an Instagram picture of them there, and he tried to say it was a picture from a long time ago. If you look, Lou Williams is holding a mask that the NBA issued to him. So he's trying to say, oh, no, it's an old picture. But then all of a sudden you see Lou Williams with the NBA issued mask. So he said, no, he wasn't there. There was no one there. He was just getting there for food. Yeah, really. If no one is there, why are they open for food?
Right. You don't go to a strip club.
And by the way, if no one's there, who snapped the picture?
The rapper.
Right.
Rapper.
But that means somebody was there now, doesn't it?
Exactly. I know.
And a rapper ain't going anywhere by himself.
Hey,
no.
As to who said 1-on-1 isn't 2, 1-on-1 is 1. But no, yeah, I think Zoll is right. If these players that say football, you go home and one of your family members came in contact with someone who had it. Shit happens. But if you go to a bar at 2:00 in the morning and all of a sudden you get it through there, you should get fined. I agree. People should know.
That was me who said that, though.
I know. I said Suds.
Yeah. Okay.
I gave you credit.
Yeah. I thought you said so. Okay.
No.
You said Suds.
These guys are adults. Well, some of them are adults.
Clearly not.
They should know the risk of what's going on. Terry Francona said they had a whole day meeting with all the players going over the risks and everything. So these players know what the hell is going on.
Well, Dwight Howard was walking around shortly after getting into their bubble, walking around without a mask on. In front of everybody without having a mask on. I'm not talking about 10 or 11 days into the bubble where you've been tested multiple times. Mm-hmm. We're talking day 2 or 3.
Or you're lucky to get it once. Well, you probably got it once.
But you still could come up with a negative on the first test and still be a positive.
Yeah.
And to be walking around there without a mask, first of all, the mask protects other people from you. So he's putting everybody else at risk by doing that, and being at only on day 3 of the quarantine is risky. We're talking about a very short period of time to get a lot of games in.
Let me ask you this question: were they tested before they went into the bubble? What
they did was when they arrived. They all had to quarantine themselves into their rooms.
Okay.
And from there, each one of them was tested, but they still had to quarantine for 14 days, and during that 14 days being tested multiple times in order to be cleared. Then once the 14 days were up, allegedly you're supposed to all be safe at that point in time, except for the morons who decide they're going to strip clubs. They're going out to get stuff to eat. And you really put everybody right back in the same bubble. Fortunately, people were caught early coming back and had to go back into the quarantine stage.
Yeah.
Well, this is 2-year-old bullshit behavior.
Yeah.
You're right.
You're getting paid millions of dollars, sit in your fucking room for 14 days. By the way, the really fucking nice rooms. Because
they're sweets.
They got herringbone things, the floors, herringbone patterns. Dude, let me go to, I want to see that at a Red Roof Inn. No.
I'm all for 2-year-old behavior because I'm 39. I have a 12-year-old brain. But when it's your livelihood and it depends on how you keep yourself healthy, and wouldn't you think you would take the extra step to keep yourself?
You're also risking millions and millions and millions of dollars of other people's money by doing it.
Not only yours.
I'm never going to risk millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Of other people's money. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't even have that option. And for them to risk the owner's money, the NBA's money, and other players' money. I mean, some of their money's tied up in bonuses. Some of their money's tied up in playoff wins. Some of their money's tied up in a lot of this stuff. Scoring averages. They tie into your contracts. And let's say if I average 20 points a game for the season, I get an extra $250,000. But I'm at 21 point a game. But because your ass can't play, or your ass infected, let's say I'm on the Lakers, your ass infected LeBron James. Now they're double teaming me because there's nobody they don't have to worry about LeBron. My scoring average goes down. I lose out on $250,000. You just screwed me.
Yeah.
And you did it on purpose, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you damn well know your ass should have stayed in that hotel room.
Yeah.
And not at a strip club getting wings.
I love
but
there
was
was
best wings in Atlanta. That's what he
That's
said.
what Grubhub is for.
That's a quote from. It's the best food in Atlanta. That was the quote.
Okay, so you call them up and say, "I want delivery." You're in basketball. They will make an allowance to deliver to you.
Here's one of your henchmen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you have them delivered to your door, and you knock on the door, and you leave the bag on the thing, and you leave. And by the way, I've been to I don't go to strip clubs a lot, but the one thing I don't do is I don't eat any food there. Who the hell eats food at a strip club? There are things that fly around more than the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. Not touching the 10-foot pole.
You probably have.
Exactly.
It's likely you probably did at one point.
Oh yeah, I can tell you last time I was at a strip club. So
you did touch it with a 10-foot pole.
And they had good shrimp. I'll tell you that.
Lies.
Yeah, I've only been to one strip club once, and that was to see my downstairs neighbor.
Is that a euphemism?
No, she was just.
I got that though. That was nice. Now, come on, Doug. Did you catch it? Did you get it? Do I need to explain it to you?
Yeah.
He lived above the strip club.
No, his downstairs neighbor.
His downstairs neighbor.
He went to visit He went to his strip club to have a visit with his downstairs neighbor.
No, I went to see her. I was curious.
Oh, that's one of the biggest shit-eating grins I've ever seen come over your face. Go ahead, Zolt. You were going to say something?
I was just going to say, if anybody saw any pictures or video of the NHL players, of the NHL players showing up to the hub cities over the weekend.
No.
You want to talk about a bubble. They're doing it right. Because you see in the background as they're showing up at hotels and they're showing up at arenas, fences with barbed wire all the way around. You've got Yes, you've got barricades around the hotels where they're staying because they are the only ones staying there. It was impressive.
Every time I think of a bubble, I think of that movie Biodome, where they had the big ass dome over there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
All right. Name the stars of Biodome.
Wasn't Pauly Shore?
And
Brandon Fraser?
No. Baldwin.
I was gonna say one of the Baldwins. Yep.
One of the
Stephen
Baldwin.
Stephen.
The worst of the actors of all the Baldwins.
Well, look at the film. I mean, you're putting him next to Pauly Shore. It's not going to make the film any better.
Okay, name his best film.
Pauly Shore?
You. No, Stephen Baldwin. His best film. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Either one.
He wasn't a star in any of them.
Yeah. Either
name his best film he's ever been in.
Well, the one.
There's not a winning situation here, guys.
There's not. No.
He was not in Encino Man, was he?
Yeah, he's the one who said, "I need tinfoil, a roll of toilet paper, roll of paper towels, and WD-40." Remember he used to...
Folks, I think I made my my point here. Encino Man is Stephen Baldwin's best film. It makes everything I just said absolutely true.
See, I'm just backing you up.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up with the evidence for me.
To get back to
players, let's stay off the rails. We don't need to go back on.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be right back off them in a moment anyway. But just going back to players and taking care of the league and their team in general, there was a quote from Jamie Collins, a Detroit linebacker, talking about how do you make sure people don't wander off the reservation and that kind of thing. And his quote was, "We got to find a way to get all 90 guys to do the right thing. That's hard. New guys, rookies might want to get out and party. It's not just about one person. You bleed together, you sweat together, and you do not want to play with veterans' money."
No, because they'll kill you.
Yeah.
They'll have you killed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I tell you what,
yeah.
there are some of those NFL players. Imagine if Harrison was still in the league with Pittsburgh.
Oh,
that big crazy motherfucker.
Bill Romanowski.
Yeah, he'd kill you.
Oh, you're dead.
He'd choke your ass out in your own locker.
Lyle Alzalo, same thing.
Yeah. But Harrison, dude, he always went everywhere he went. He was packing. He always was he had a concealed weapons permit for every city that had an NFL team. Every city he could go to, he had a weapons permit to go there. And that dude was always packing. And every vehicle he had a hidden gun in there too. You don't want to fuck with that dude.
Yeah.
First of all, have you ever seen him? He'd fucking kill you anyways with his hands.
Right.
He doesn't need a gun, but he has them.
But he's
nice
right.
to know that he's got the backup.
Jamie Collins is right. You have to do it all as a team, not as don't sacrifice 20 or 30 just because you want to go have a party and get some side action.
Yeah, and in the same vein, quote from Von Bell, Cincinnati safety. You got guys who aren't going to listen to the protocols, who want to live life their way. One guy could ruin a whole team. It's crucial for guys to understand you can't be selfish. Got to think about the team. Fight the temptation. I'm going to make sure I talk to guys, say, stay in, think about the team.
What they really got to do is the first dude they catch going out, partying, cut their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. Yeah. Belichick would do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
You won't find you won't find
we get to do that?
If you
sign me up.
He fired a dude because he showed up, his alarm did go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine what he's going to do to the dude who brings in the coronavirus into his practice facility. He may be walking around with his head on a stick.
That kind of segues right into the next topic. What about these players opting out from New England?
First of all, I don't want to go to New England. I want to talk about Soldier, who opted out
today.
Yep.
I didn't see his today, so
Well, Soldier, his son is fighting cancer, and he is a survivor cancer.
Yes, he is
himself. So God bless him. Good luck, and his ass should stay home. Yes. Fuck the NFL. As a matter of fact, if I was his head coach, I would have said, "Listen, I'm going to go ahead and pay your contract anyways for the year, full pay. Your ass ain't coming.
You're not even sniffing this place.
Don't even bother. You're not going to announce you're not coming. I'm telling you, you're not coming." That would have been the right thing for the coach to do and the owner. If I'm the owner, I would turn around and say, "Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pay his contract." I don't know if they can do that because the other people opt out, whether or not they pay it.
Right.
But on the down low, I'd end up paying his ass.
I mean, I would have to believe he would qualify for the higher risk.
Yes, it's like 250,000. If the people with no excuse wants it, it's like 150,000. He's missing out on 9.9 million.
Yeah.
I would do my damnedest. I would say, hey, I may not pay you $9 million this year, but we'll extend your contract one more year and pay you 9.9 million the following year, because it's the right thing for him to do. And God bless him, and I hope that it's successful and his kid comes out okay.
It's just like the guy from I think the starting guard for the Chiefs. He's working as an orderly in a nursing home.
Yeah.
In Canada.
Yeah.
He said he'd rather do that and help people out and try to play football. You know what?
Yeah. More power to you.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's face it. I mean, I'm the one who's on record saying I don't have a problem with any of them opting out. If you want to opt out, this is scary shit. I get it. Opt out.
I have a problem if you have absolutely no actual reason besides you're scared, and then you're going to collect a $200,000 or $150,000 paycheck to sit your ass at home while everybody else goes. Now, if you have a reason, dude, sit your ass out.
Right.
But if you're sitting out because you're scared, millions upon millions of people are going to work every single day who don't have half the protocols these dudes have in order to stay protected.
Shit.
On top of their 20 years younger than me, on top of that they are in peak physical condition, on top of the fact that they do not have lung problems. And if you do not have a reason, and you're going to go and say, you know what, I'm going to opt out and I'm going to take my $150,000, which is basically 3 times more money than I make in a fucking year, I have a problem with that. Yeah. If you want to say, you know what, keep your money, I'm opting out for this year, don't pay me nothing. Because, okay, go ahead and sit your ass out. Don't collect a paycheck. Right. Don't collect $150,000 and sit your ass at home for no reason other than you're a little bitch and scared.
There's I forget who it was in the NBA. It might have been a couple guys in the NBA and Major League Baseball. Their wives just had a baby.
Good reason. Bingo.
That's a good reason.
Sit your ass out.
Yeah. I agree.
That's a reason. It doesn't have to be a perfect reason, but it needs to be a reason. You can't say, you know what, I'm a little girl and I don't want to play. I'm scared. Millions upon millions of people are
doing this every day,
and they're doing it for 1/100th of what he's going to make by sitting out.
Right.
I will say this. I think, Bert, you said you hadn't seen any list from today.
I haven't seen anybody announcing it today.
I know Damian Williams, running back from Kansas City, opted out.
Didn't he have a reason though?
I don't remember. I didn't see.
It's undisclosed is what their list is.
And then for Detroit, defensive tackle John Atkins did. Now, as far as Detroit is concerned, we had a little bit of other news, which was both Kenny Galladay and TJ Hawkinson went on the COVID list. So either they tested positive or they had close contact with somebody that did. So we'll have to watch that.
They've been separated from everybody.
Yes, they are away from everybody else. And I don't know how long the NFL actual quarantine is, if it's 10 days, if it's 14, but they'll be away for a little bit.
And that's the other thing. Everybody says you have to quarantine for 14 days, but it comes back after 10 days. I'm confused by that part too.
Well, they're going to test them 3 times before they can even enter the facility. So you come up negative 3 stays in a row, you're pretty clear at that point.
You would hope.
Yeah. Hope.
But who knows? We'd have to tell. George says Facebook's giving us issues.
Yeah,
back on
just
again.
Keep on going.
Yeah, just chug it along.
Mike came back on.
Okay, now where the hell is Acres at now? I see Baby Gates.
Acres is there.
He's all professional before. He had the dueling aces up behind him. Had that old special. Now he's lost it. Now we're seeing his kids, the Baby Gates. You know.
This is what I go through above me. Holly had to run to the store to go get something to drink or something to eat, so I can't come downstairs. And of course, I get my drink. I set it on the ledge. I run back outside to grab something. I come back in, and then my drink is all over the floor.
Gotta love
I'm like, oh, this is great.
Don't put it on the floor next time.
Well, since we were talking about a little bit about NFL, COVID, etc., I got a little interesting little article here about what a specific team has set up and is going through for its players to come in, and that's basically the safety protocols for the Rams. And I'm not going to sit here and bore everybody with the entire thing, but so like before actually going into the building, at that point, players will have already passed up to 4 tests before they ever enter the building.
Yep.
Once they go through, they've got a check-in table every day that they go through the questions. If nobody's gone to work and had the questions posed to them, but it's always the same questions. Or anytime you go to a doctor's office, it's the same questions. They'll have their temperature taken, etc. Then they get a contact tracing clip put on them. It tracks everywhere they go and who they're around. So if any of them test positive in the future, they immediately know who else to go to.
Only inside the building.
I would have to imagine so. I would. It's curious to me, how exactly, do you LoJack them when they go home?
Take their keys.
Well, Bill Gates came up with this theory of when they come out with a COVID-19 vaccine, that part of the COVID-19 vaccine will also have a tracking chip, dissolvable allegedly. I say that allegedly because I don't trust that dumbass.
Right.
Smart ass, excuse me. Don't call him dumb. That's sure not his ass. And we'll be able to track you in case you do get it, and they can tell who's been around you. On the other hand, they'll be able to track all your locations everywhere you go and know exactly what you're doing. With the use of the cell phone, you will never be able to do anything outside the grid. Big Brother, 1984.
Yeah. That's George Orwell, all right.
That's kind of like the...
So, go ahead.
You done opening up the popcorn? Are you going to share?
It's gummies. You want some?
Oh, yeah.
After Antonio Brown, I kind of stay away from gummies.
Yeah.
Hey, look, pop your cherry for you.
Dude, that looks like one of them.
I think Suds just got a chubby.
I think DHS might need to be called on over his house. He's handing up the wrong Antonio Brown gummies to his kid.
We got actually pretty good.
The article just goes further into they actually are doing a facial recognition type of camera to the temperature, so nobody's actually getting close enough to do a temperature reading. There's no handles on doors anymore. They're all motion sensor. They said all 30 rookies are going to be in what used to be the media room. That's going to be their locker room until they come up with something else. It's just interesting the way they're attempting to tackle it, at least.
And you got to think outside the box
Wow.
too.
Can I point out one major flaw in all of that? They're going to stick the pads on, and they're going to go out on the field, and then they're going to hit each other, and
then they're going to take their
going to touch them all up in here and hit them up in the face. And what's the point of having an automatic door when everybody's touching each other already?
I was going to say, you're already in the building at that point.
Right, but you're already. What's the point of the opening door when you already passed the first door and you've already passed all the screening? There's no point of the opening of the door because in 15 minutes, everybody's going to be touched. It's going to sound kind of weird. Everybody's going to be touching everybody.
Touching everybody
within like the first 60 minutes.
I
mean, I'm just saying, it's once you get past the first set of doors, there's no point of the automatic doors because everybody's touching each other.
It's a mental thing. But it's completely trying to make people feel safer.
And it's one less thing you have to worry about cleaning and everything, and because these guys have to clean. Like I know at work, every 2 hours they go over the PA system and it says, "Now, employee, it's time to disinfect and clean your area." So it's one less thing to worry about cleaning, and one less thing that they have to worry about that might get people infected.
Okay,
but it is a peace of mind thing too. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I have a different solution.
Don't go to work.
Possibly no. No. How often you have all the ability to set up tents outside? You have the ability to air conditioning those said tents. No doors need to be necessary on the tents. It's a flap. You just walk through. You can simply set up tents outside. You tell the players, basically come prepared, have your stuff with you. All through high school, or all through my son right now playing football, he's not going into a locker room and getting changed and getting ready. You come in there, you get out of your car, you throw your pads on, you go to work. And you simply go walk up to the dude who's go into the tent where they're taping, and you have somebody tape you up who's wearing gloves and masks. You're never touching anything. Then you walk up on the field, and you don't have to worry about a building. You don't have to worry about doors. You tell everybody, hey, listen, here's X amount of money to supply yourself with as many water bottles as you want to bring. And these are your responsibilities. And, here's the money to pay for them. And you have them bring their own shit.
Didn't you bring us something similar to that a couple of weeks ago?
Can you not?
But now, it actually makes sense.
Can you not see it that there's going to be 10 by 10? So 40 players. There'd be 40 pop-up tents on the side of the football field for each player with their own name on it. It's just their own personal lockers. I mean,
they do it. Listen, if you go to the fancy pools in Vegas, you got all those little tents out there. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for these players not to have
the pop-up tents with side walls are 125, 150, depending on what kind you get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not difficult. Like what you're saying, it's self-explanatory. If you're this worried about them being in a building, you're going to tell me spending $40,000, $50,000.
They spent that on the opening doors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On pop-ups alone, just to be out on the field.
You can hook that up just like the blow up jumping things that the kids have. You hook up the fucking air conditioners to the back of all their tents. You can air condition everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keeping on the same subject. So today, we all know every time you go in the hospital or any emergency room, if you guys haven't, you have to have your temperature taken some sort of way, either by it's a rub on or the thermometer in the mouth, or you have to stare at the screen, put your face in it, and it tells you your temperature. Now, we have to rely on these so-called gadgets that's supposed to help us, right? Well, I don't know. I'm guess I'm dead because it told me that I stuck my face in the computer and it said 107 degrees.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, so I stepped away, let it reset. I stepped back in, and it says 100.7. And the guy's like, what's it saying? I was like, it says I'm over 100 degrees. And he's like, what? I'm like, okay. So then he put the rub on me, or the stick on me, whatever it was. And he says, no, you're fine. I go, what the hell? After I think of myself, I told Holly about it. She goes, 107, you're dead.
Yeah, and to be honest, you're awful cheerful for a guy that's dead.
At work, they have
going back to the fact that we have to go by the same stuff that they're getting into.
To me, Mike, they don't have the same stuff. They have better stuff than what we have.
Okay.
Because they have the money to spend on the good stuff. At work, they actually point on top of the thermometer is one where they just point it to your forehead. They actually have a tongue dispenser taped on the top of it to almost touch it for the right distance. And like you said, you had 107. The one time they told me I was at 94 degrees. They go,
nice.
Oh, you're good to go. Oh, really? I hope so.
I just tell them I'm cold. All it is.
Well, yeah. We figured out at our job that when you're going into work and people are sitting in their air conditioning inside their car, and then you get to their thing and you roll down the window and they stick the little thing and they're like, we got issue? And they go, yeah, you're 94 because of the air conditioning is cooling you off. The same thing is happening the opposite when you're sitting there and it's 90 degrees outside, 95 degrees outside. You just have the windows down. Your skin is heating up. So when they put that little laser pointer at you, it's coming across just the heat of your skin, not your actual temperature. Yes. And when you put it actually physically on you, you're getting a different temperature.
Yeah, I have one of those here at the house, and frankly, it tells you right on the thing, you have to acclimate 30 minutes into the temperature where you're at before you use it.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say give it 6 degrees.
yeah, you've got a plus minus of.
By the way, everybody who's actually listening, which I'm assuming is not very many, we are not doctors.
No.
And we are ones on the radio.
Do not listen to anything we say about any topic.
No.
Ever.
Any health topic.
Especially health. Clearly.
Yes, especially health. Well, since we're talking NFL, Jamal Adams? Jesus. Anybody?
Really?
Let's go.
I mean, oh my God.
One.
I couldn't believe it. That.
That was a hell of a deal.
First of all, they had to jump on that deal. You got so much out of it.
Yeah.
You had to take it, and you got away from what looks like going to be one of the biggest head cases in the history of the NFL. Mm-hmm. He's still on his rookie contract. He's not even in his third year yet, and you're acting like
I was about to say 2 years, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He just finished his second year. This is going to be the start of his third year. He's acting like Revis. After Revis's third contract.
Ooh, that's a good comparison right there. Same team too.
Yeah,
same team. Yeah.
Yeah. Revis Island. They pulled the same shit, but he did it in his third contract, not on his rookie contract. And I tell you what, he better be the greatest of all time.
Yeah, here's my question. If you're the Jets, regardless of whether he's a head case, regardless of if you're having contract issues, don't you almost have to pull that trigger no matter who he is?
Yeah, absolutely.
For that deal.
Dude, they gave away the farm.
Yes.
Dude, I haven't seen a trade like that since Ricky Williams with the Saints, where Ditka gave away everything.
Say the Saints, or say the Seattle Seahawks came up to them and say, hey, we'll give you 2 first rounders and a third rounder for Sam Darnold. See you later, Sam.
Yeah,
nice knowing you.
Right.
At this point in time, as bad as St. Louis is, or excuse me, the Rams you go ahead.
Yeah.
Plus how huge his contract is, you get rid of the contract and you get 2 firsts and a third. You're giving his ass up easily, quick.
Oh yeah.
That's a no-brainer. This is one of the worst deals. I don't know whoever made that deal, I want to know his name, because I predict within the next 3 years his ass will be fired.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll does not make the trade.
Well, I mean, I will say this about Seattle. Seattle is known for not using first round picks. I mean, since let me find this real quick. Since 2014, they've only drafted in the top 45 5 times. So they don't exactly feel the need to stick in the first round. I mean,
but you can't move down right now because you have nothing to trade.
No, not now. No, they've done their move for the year. I mean, that's
because you've lost you lost more than that. You lost 2 first rounders, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you lost this year and this coming up year and the following year. So
21 and 22, yeah.
So and then it was a 3rd rounder. Is it that was what he was?
Yes, a 3rd rounder also in 21.
So you given what the following year you have a 2nd round, a 4th, and a 5th. Is there a 6th round in the NFL anymore?
Yes.
Yeah, there's 7 still.
There's 7.
They go to.
So
7.
you got a 2nd, a 2nd, a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So you got 5 picks for next year. You gave up 2 of them for next year, then 1 the following year. You really put yourself in a huge bind. Seattle wasn't that good to do that.
Pete Carroll, his quote was, "We haven't drafted above number 25 for 10 years?" And technically it's been 8. In 2012, they drafted 15th. But they're just one of those teams, I guess, that just don't.
But I'd like to point out something, though, during that time. They got fucking real lucky with Wilson.
Yeah.
Because if you remember right, they went out and got the one-hit wonder in Finney? What was he was a Matt Flynn. They paid a king's ransom for Matt Flynn, thinking he was going to be the next big thing. They got lucky and drafted Wilson, and he turned around to become a killer at quarterback. And he got in the 3rd round. They got so lucky, it's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. What are the odds? They pulled a Brady out of their ass.
As I was going to say, just like Tom Brady getting drafted.
That's what they did.
I mean, doing this actual deal, they had to have confidence for the next 2 years that the players that are in college, they don't need. So, for example, if they go out and they stay in the 20 pick range, then they're really not losing anything but a top receiver, or maybe another defender if they don't lose anybody. But I mean, that's the gamble.
But look at what you just picked up. You picked up Revis. His ass ain't going to stick around unless you pay him $1 bazillion at the end of this contract.
But that's what they're saying. No, so they're going to be gambling on the 2nd round, coming back through, maybe make another pick that can get them up in the 2nd round. I don't know. I mean,
you're going to have to replace them, wouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying. So they have confidence that they don't need to replace anybody. I mean, you got to be crazy.
But you're going to have to replace him because you're not going to keep him.
So are there no top cornerbacks right now that's worth anything in the 1st round? That's the question.
He's a safety. He's not even a cornerback.
Yeah. This was done. Yeah. This was done. You have to assume this was done because they believe they have the pieces they need.
Yep.
They would not have made that deal if they don't think they couldn't sign him.
That's what I was going at. Yeah.
That has to be the expectation. So
that they're going to be able to sign him to a long.
They're going to be able to sign him.
This
and they aren't going to need anything else, or at least
a guy who's had
nothing other than
a guy who forces a trade after his 2nd year. Can anybody tell me the last schmuck who did this, who got away with it like this, who forced a trade on your rookie contract? Anybody? It ain't ever happening.
I have no idea.
You should look into it. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't think of anybody.
There's nobody. I've never heard of anybody pulling this stunt.
No.
I've heard of 1st round picks refusing to sign their contracts and forcing a trade before they even get in there. I mean, that's a Manning. That's a John Elway did that, but never. Dude's in his 2nd year in his contract, and he starts talking shit about the owner, talking shit about the head coach, and gets himself traded out of there, and so they give that much up for him.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I think Zolt hit it right on the head. They must think they have everything in place right now to make a run for the next couple of years.
They must feel they're ready.
That's the only thing.
And it's just a matter of getting out there.
Now, is Pete Carroll the coach to do it, though?
You're going to have to control this kid because he's going to run wild at that mouth.
Everybody,
if he could control Sherman to a point, why can't he control this kid?
Look what Sherman ended up doing.
But
he destroyed himself in Seattle and ended up getting his ass moved out instead of getting a big contract.
After they won a Super Bowl.
But then he ends up having to go someplace else, and he doesn't get the contract that he probably deserved at that point.
It doesn't matter. He won a Super Bowl for Seattle.
Yeah.
And that's what Pete Carroll's looking at.
Everybody respects Pete Carroll too, so I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that hard for him, but he's getting older. He's, I think he's almost in the 70s, 70.
But still, I mean, you're going to go from, in this guy's mind, probably like a shit coach from the Jets going over to Pete Carroll. Who's the better coach?
I really don't put this defense in the same category as the Legion of Boom.
No, you're right.
They won that Super Bowl on the backs of a rookie contract quarterback with all the Legion of Boom sitting on defense. You had Marshawn Lynch sitting at this is not that team. Who's their starting running back for Seattle?
Marshawn Lynch.
10 years later?
Chris Carson?
Yeah,
Carson?
I think Carson.
Did Marshawn Lynch not re-sign with them though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every year they have like 6 or 7 running backs play for them, so I don't think they really.
Well, when they won their Super Bowl, they didn't. They had Marshawn Lynch as
now. I'm talking about now
the beast. Yeah. They don't have the OG. He not back that, and you don't have the talent anywhere near the talent because you not overpaid, but you paid Wilson a shitload of money. He's not on a rookie contract. You don't have the money to pay everybody else. You don't have the same defense. And there's homie sitting there with Jackson on the other side. Your ass ain't making the Super Bowl, dude.
Well,
they can make it. Now, whether they're going to win or not is another story. But they can make it because you're looking at Seattle's in the NFC compared to the home AFC. I mean, they can actually face each other. But winning it, I don't see Seattle.
Okay, what is that? Somebody sound like they're farting?
There's definitely some background noise there.
That was a kid on a.
The Indians are losing 4-0.
Like a
they can afford a loss, though.
Well,
I said the Indians are losing 4-0. They can actually afford a loss.
I think the entire Jamal Adams thing, we can sum it up with the quote from the Jets GM, Joe Douglas, which my job is to listen to calls, and this offer was one we could not ignore.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
damn 100%. Right.
It's the old Godfather line. I keep trying to get out, but they keep pulling me back in. Yeah, you can't ignore that. Hell, if someone says,
"No,
give me 2 for," I'll give you 2. Anybody, I don't care. Like I said, Sam Darnold. They want him. All right, we'll give you 2 first rounders and a third. What? Hello? What? Hold on. Let me call you right back. I think I got a bad connection.
Motherfucker, pack your bags. You're on your way.
Yeah. Fuck, I do it in a heartbeat. Someone did that for Odell.
It's what it's going to be like before hang the phone up.
Dude, you give away Odell Beckham right now for a 3rd rounder and a pizza.
No, I'm just saying though, if someone say someone came up and said, "We'll give you 2 first rounders for Odell." Sayonara.
Right.
Let me ask you this question: would you give it away for 2 2nd rounders?
Deuces. The
I
Washington.
would say it would depend on where they're at in the round. If they're if they're in the top 10
in the second round,
in the second round, then I would do it. But if they're 1 in the top 10 and then say the last pick in the second round, that's a tough.
I think you guys are about to find out here in a minute too.
Oh boy.
I bet you. I listen. That basket case, he ain't making it this whole season. He ain't go. You ain't.
Hey.
He can't get on the boat to go party in Miami.
Well, let's bring the boat to Cleveland.
Yeah.
We got water.
He ain't going. You gonna tell him he's gonna stay out of the strip clubs? You ain't going out partying? Mm-hmm. That dude's he's gonna beat up the net again, is what he's gonna do.
Were you about to say bring the strip club to the locker room?
No, bring the strip club to him on his boat. If he brings the boat to Cleveland,
bring the boat to Cleveland. Bring the strip club.
Yeah, as long as they have masks on.
I'm pretty sure Larry Flint can go with that.
Hey, I'm telling you, some of these strippers, if they had a mask on, they look a lot better.
Right.
Okay.
We're back.
Can we give it? We're ready to wheel it back again.
First, you want to check your strippers?
Yeah.
We went to ugly strippers.
I sent you one.
Hey, I was just saying about that. I tagged Ryan and he missed his opportunity. He could have had a drive-through strip club.
Oh, I know.
But
how do I do that?
Going back to your running backs in Seattle, Chris Carson, Rashard Penny, Carlos Hyde, and Travis Homer.
I didn't know Carlos Hyde was there now.
Yeah,
all right.
This is their depth chart right now.
And my point is made. Thank you. They ain't got shit.
Yeah, and moving away from Seattle, how about Alex Smith being cleared to resume football activities after damn near losing a leg?
God bless him. Get your ass, take your ass back home and sit down.
Good.
I mean, dude, you almost lost your fucking leg. You've made millions upon millions of dollars. Sit your ass down.
There's no reason for him to come back. What has he got? What has he got left?
How old is he?
Dude, it doesn't matter, man. He almost lost a fucking leg.
I'm just saying, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How old is he? Why would you even want to come back?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
He's under 30.
No. He's like 37, 38 years old.
Oh, hell no, he's not that.
Alex Smith?
Mm-hmm. He was the number one pick in 2004.
You got his old?
Google.
I'm looking. He's 36.
Wow.
What's the point?
I would never thought he was 36 years old.
Was it 2004 he was the number one pick? Or 2006?
It would have had to be 4 because his rookie year was 05.
Yeah, so 2004. Or no, 2005.
It would have been 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Drafted number 1 in 2005.
Yeah.
Wow, he's been in the league for 15 years?
Uh-huh.
Holy shit.
That's saying why.
He definitely shouldn't come back. His ass should have been retired already.
I love it. It says 3-time Pro Bowl, 2013, 2016, 2017.
Damn, he's 30. I'd have lost money on that.
He must have been the only player on the team that he was elected to the Pro Bowl.
That was when he was with Kansas City. Well, the probably 2013 was when he was with
Kansas City.
No, he was with San Francisco. He had a really good year. That was when
2013 he was with Kansas City.
Was it he was with Kansas City?
He was with Kansas City.
So yeah,
he's with Kansas City.
Well, you remember he had one of the best seasons he ever had with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, and then he actually should have been in the Super Bowl, but he got hurt, and that's when Colin Kaepernick came in.
Yep. And that's where they rode Colin Kaepernick and pushed him away, and he went to Kansas City, tore it up there in Kansas City, and then basically turned into like Rex Grossman. Let's jam our head into the wall.
I just wonder if maybe he just wants to say, I just want to do it one more year, just so say I came back from it and just go, you know.
You think he's
look at that face.
Carpool karaoke coming down in the right hand corner.
You think maybe do you think
is Bryce driving, George?
No, I'm not.
I said it's Bryce.
No, Kelly is.
No shit, Bryce isn't driving.
All right, so I guess we're going to hit the record button just in case something happens.
Go ahead, Zolt.
I was just going to say, do you think he's actually attempting to come back to play? Or do you think he's coming back to be a mentor and to actually just come back from this and say, look, I came back from this?
Well, let's put it this. They got, what's his name? Quarterback.
They've got Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
So he'd be mentoring Haskins.
Well, he's intentionally trying to come back to play. But I'm thinking he's playing the mentor contract right now.
Yeah, that would only make sense.
If he's gonna tell Haskins and then Haskins start having a bad problem, they're gonna be like, all right, Smith, you're going in.
Oh wow, That'll be interesting to see.
And the way the Washington quarterbacks have gone the last 5 years, seems like they have like 3 or 4 starting quarterbacks every damn year. So he might get his chance. You never know.
Yeah. It is a possibility with Haskins being a running quarterback.
I think
he could get hit one time.
Yeah, I just think he just wants to come back and say, hey, I made it back. Do I have to play? I don't know, but hey, I made it back and I made it to a roster just so I overcame this injury to be back on a roster. That's the only thing.
As a mentor, just taking that money and paying debts off, I guess.
Yeah.
And like we said, I mean, absolutely more power to him. I mean, that was just absolutely. That was one of the worst things I think I'd ever seen.
I don't.
It's not good to be it's not good to be a Washington Redskin quarterback.
No, I hate watching injuries like that. So I still never seen his injuries. I look away. I'm a big puss when it comes to it.
If you look at the worst injuries probably in the history of the NFL at quarterback happening during games, it's happened with the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Theismann.
Yep.
Probably the worst hit of all time.
Yeah.
RG3. I mean, his ass was taken out in a wheelchair.
His knee
bent in a stretcher. Yeah. And then now you have Alex Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what.
I also have Colt McCoy, too.
Was he really a quarterback?
Colt McCoy, too.
Yeah.
The cave has spoken.
Hey.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. It looks like a disco ball going on in his car.
It was very low bandwidth. Didn't even hear you, G.
Boom, 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 boom. Dude, what are you doing? Did you going to a disco?
That's
going to the strip club to get wings.
It's full circle, sons. It just came full circle with us.
Yeah, it just came full circle. Off the rails.
All right, should we get to these names?
Yes. Yeah, that was actually a halfway decent segue.
Yes.
Talking about the NFL. These names.
So do we want to go by division or do we want to just...
Well, when I was talking to George earlier, he wanted to start in the west side, like AFC and then NFC West and then head to South and then East and finish up in the North.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
We can do that. So, to me, I picked team names. Looking up some of this, like, this might sound dorky, but some of the foods that were popular in the city, or something like that. So that
you went more practical.
Yeah, well, unusual for me. I went more practical.
You got me here. Don't worry, I got the other side handled.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun to look up some of the stuff. People can go different ways with all with their names, but it was fun to look up some of the stuff to. Whoa! Now we have 2 Georges.
What?
Jesus, what the hell's going on? He's multi-fucking-plying. He's like a minion.
Hold on. Hey,
there's King Bob down at the bottom.
Doug, if you go to share screen and you see the little dots on it, click on that.
The little what?
If you go to share screen,
yep.
Click on the little dots, and it says multiple people at once. It should go up on Facebook then with everybody on there.
Yep.
So what team we starting off with?
You go ahead. Go ahead. Start off. Why don't we start off in the NFC West? So you start off.
So just pick a team.
Yeah, pick a team, Soul or Suds.
I don't want to. Somebody pick a team.
All right, Zolt, you pick a team.
Let's go. I'm sorry, we said AFC West.
AFC or NFC, it don't matter.
Okay, Las Vegas. Let's go with Las Vegas.
Okay.
Now, going into these, I had a couple rules. It's like, number one, I wanted to be as specific as possible. I didn't want to just be a general thing. And number two, I did not want something obvious. There was a couple of them I really didn't have a choice. I did not want obvious. I wanted, okay, let me reach a bit here. Let me find something. Initially, my initial thought was, hey, I could call these guys the Las Vegas Buffets. No.
No.
So instead, I kind of went a little old school, in my opinion. I went with the Las Vegas shrimp cocktail.
Yes. Yes. I was hoping somebody besides me was gonna find that.
Thanks for throwing my name out there, Zolt. I
Hey.
went with the buffets. I mean,
Y'all went with me first. This is your damn fault.
Yep.
For the Raiders,
I was going to say something like breakfast size, like.
I was.
Well,
I want the Bloody Marys.
I mean, that's all.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Bloody Marys.
The Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
Vegas Bloody Marys.
I tried. I didn't want to do drinks.
Hey, listen, my father was a drunk. He said that alcohol is like the fifth food group.
I agree with that.
So, I have a few of those on my list.
Oh boy.
George, I think you have what? Fried.
George is frozen.
Fried tacos.
Right. It's an Indian taco because the Native Americans actually settled in Vegas first.
Well, the Native Americans settled in the United States first, so I'm just.
Well, guess what? I went Native American on that one.
Nice.
So, and it's a puff taco that is only served traditionally at powwows and rodeos only.
Ooh, rodeos.
They don't serve it at any other time.
Huh.
So it's very indigenous for Vegas.
Nice word, indigenous.
Thank you.
So I take it, Doug, you had the same one as Zolt.
Yeah, shrimp cocktails. It was invented there in 1959. I saw that. I was like, shrimp cocktail was in Vegas? I was putting like in a Bay City or somewhere along the coast. Vegas? Okay.
It's funny because you're an Ocean's 11 person.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
It's all Brad Pitt's eating every time he's in the casino.
The shrimp cocktail.
Yep.
If you look at him every time you watch that movie, he's always got more shrimp than he's already eating. I don't understand it. And then he goes from a plate to a bowl. It's weird.
All right, let's go to
Mike. Who'd you have, Mike?
Me? No, I was agreeing with you guys. Don't worry about me.
Oh, okay.
I told you mine was like a breakfast thing. It was weird. Don't worry about it. It's
tell us.
Shit.
Yeah, what was it?
I told you it was Las Vegas. Like Las Vegas, it was I don't have my pad with me, but it was what the hell did I say? It was scrambled eggs or something. I can't remember. Poached. Las Vegas poachers or some shit like that. I don't know, poached egg. But that's why you said buffet, and I was like, "Oh, you got me." I was like,
"Yeah, that's what I had."
What do you do? You gamble all night.
Right.
You're so drunk. You walk out. The sun's up. What do? You go get breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. The word buffet just describes Vegas. I mean, that's just.
That's what I was like. You said buffet.
I get it.
Like, oh, there went breakfast, and I'm like.
And the only reason I didn't go with that is I was specifically looking for items. I wasn't looking for that, and not because I felt it was wrong, just because I wanted something specific. So,
all right, Mr. Burridge, we'll go over to you to start off. What do you got for Denver?
I've never heard of this, and so I didn't think they can have them there, but I guess they do. There's something called the Rocky Mountain oysters. Never.
Yeah.
Well, I went with
testicles. I don't really want to eat those.
I went with the Denver oysters.
Well, here's the thing. I went with the same thing, except I changed the team name, and I went with the general region. I'm literally calling the team the Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain. Now that makes sense. I agree with that. 100%.
Are we staying with the alcohol?
What do you got, Akers?
I ain't got shit.
You ain't got shit.
All right, next.
All right, I do.
Okay.
So the coldest region for the entire NFL happens to be Denver. So I went with the Denver snow cones.
Ah.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. That's a good one. That's an outside the box one too.
There you go.
Well, George went.
I lived there.
Went with Denver.
I went Denver
omelets.
omelet. Yep.
Denver omelet.
Yep.
Yeah. The
And
Denver omelet.
And I went a little bit more Suds way. the Denver edibles.
Oh, nice.
Oh, why did I? It was so there you go. It was so obvious that we just didn't do it.
Yeah, just didn't even see it.
Damn you.
It all depends on your Google search, man.
Right.
Right
It didn't come up-
keywords
it
or the
didn't come
wrong
up in-
keywords.
It didn't come up in foods.
No, it didn't.
Suds, Los Angeles. Yeah. But
The
what
Chargers?
could be
The
the
Chargers.
Chargers.
They're so snowflakes. I just
Yeah.
wanted to go with snowflakes. But I don't got nothing for them, dude. I couldn't figure out a damn thing.
It's kind of funny because I talked to George earlier today and I told him I was doing things like I changed Denver to Rocky Mountain. I do not have two Los Angeles teams. This is my Los Angeles team. I changed the name of the other one. This is the Los Angeles French Dip. And
you took after George. You took after Georgie there.
George had French dip too, huh?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And I went with the flaming margaritas.
Nice.
See, a lot of people went after the alcohol. I got one for later
They're
on.
all about trying to eat their healthy food. I was trying to think of something funny with the sushi, but I couldn't really come up with anything. But that's what I was going with, because they're all about trying to eat them sushi rolls everywhere out there.
And that's what I went with. I went with the LA sushis.
Yeah, I tried to come up with a random name, but that's why I was like him coming up with that LA sushi, and I'm like, I don't like it, but hey.
You actually could, just thinking about it, you could have just named them, how Zolt renamed, Denver and all. You could have just called them the California Rolls.
The California Rolls.
Yeah, that would have worked perfect. That would have been beautiful.
I never thought about changing the name. I just wanted to keep the team name, but now changing the name, it's like, oh, you can have a shit ton of possibilities.
Oh yeah, it just adds to it.
Some of them, it just makes so much sense to do it, and it just sounds better on a few of them.
Yep, I agree.
Last one up is Kansas City. Who had ribs?
I had.
I couldn't figure out anything else.
I mean,
barbecue food. That's all I could think of.
Yeah.
Kansas City was a rough one. I don't know how far down that Google search I went, but I found a word that I don't even know how to pronounce. Is a German word. I believe it's Beirock, but it's like a pocket of hamburger and cabbage in almost like a pastry thing that gets fried up.
I think that sounds damn good right now.
Dude, this topic, we're gonna be starving.
What about did everybody remember the Snickers commercials?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about just renaming them and calling them the chefs, and then the chef salad. Since they changed their own name on the commercial.
Right.
That's a good one too. Yeah. It was so hard. I just said Kansas City BBQs. I
was thinking about the salad tossers, but I thought it would go too far.
Oh.
This show never goes too far.
As long as I'm driving.
All right, let's go over to the NFC West.
All right.
Started off with Seattle, and I'll give that one off to Mr. Akers.
The only thing I think it was once again, that's a West Coast. I'm all about seafood. And I was trying to say the Mariners or the Marlins, but it's this there. I mean, what else was that? Was the
wrong ocean?
Yeah, I thank you. That's what I was trying to come up with. It was
racial, everyone.
my pad with me. It's downstairs.
Well,
how was it? Coffee. That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you took mine.
Yeah.
I was either going to go with Starbucks, the Seattle Starbucks.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. I had the damn symbol in my head, and I'm like, just say it.
Or the Seattle lattes.
Yeah, latte.
Nice. That was
nice.
Roasters, Seattle Roasters.
This was, I think, probably the only one of mine that it's not a prepared food. It's an unprepared food. But I keyed on to the Pike Place Market. Where they throw the fish, and I called them the Seattle Flying Fish.
I went along that line. First I said the flounders, because one, they threw the fish, plus it was the guy from Animal House. I wanted to give a shout out to him.
Yeah.
But then my wife goes, "It's not flounder, it's the salmon they're throwing." I'm like, "Well, thank you." So then I was like, "All right, the Seattle salmon."
That was my other option.
That was George's pick.
Yeah.
Seattle salmons. I went Seattle oysters.
Oysters.
That's not. And see, that was the other thing. Like, I didn't want to give. You have like Indianapolis Colts and the Broncos. I know they're two horses, but they're different names. I wanted to stay away from everybody, having like same name but like different. I wanted everybody to be different. So that was the other hard part about these.
That makes it really challenging, especially when you start having multiple teams in like the same very small region.
Yeah.
Or two in one city, like LA.
Yes,
New York.
LA and New York.
Well, and I'm thinking of places like DC and Baltimore, and
well, you could include Philly kind of in that list.
Oh yeah,
sort of.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go to. I hope we're gonna go to George here for his San Francisco. For San Francisco, yes.
Oh, he's out.
Damn it.
I'm not sure if he's like trying to fart in the phone so we can hear.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, let's do like Los Angeles or Arizona and then see if he comes back.
Okay.
So Arizona, we already did Los Angeles.
The other Los
Angeles.
Angeles.
The other Los Angeles team.
It's hard.
Suds, what do you got for the other Los Angeles team?
I thought we just did them.
The
Chargers. This is the Rams.
Oh, the Rams.
The Rams. Yeah.
God, what was the name of the? What's the name of another name for cooked like lamb? Damn.
Euros?
No. It's crap. I can't remember the name of it now. It's cooked lamb basically. Am I frozen?
Is it like shawarma?
Shawarma.
There you go.
Shawarma. Thank you.
To the rescue.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Shawarmas.
Yes. Speaking of results.
Okay.
LA shawarmas.
The Rams, like I said, I did not have two Los Angeles teams. This one got changed to California, and mainly because west side of LA, apparently these shops are all over the place, and they're all over up and down the entire coast. So I went with the California ramen.
I thought about that. I saw that.
California ramen?
Yep.
Yeah, ramen. Yep. I actually thought about that.
Okay. Well, who do you got instead?
Well, since the Rams are getting really old very fast, I went with the LA Prunes. Because it actually said the prunes were like one of like the main crops there being being grown in southern LA. Okay. So I was like, LA Rams, they're getting old very fast, and hey, let's go with LA Prunes.
LA Prunes. George has the LA Tortillas. And, and I have the LA Vegans.
Is that a food or a drink?
No.
A group in general, vegan.
It is a okay.
Listen, damn it, that was my 49ers one. The vegans.
The vegans?
I have
49er vegans.
Well, let's just roll with the 49ers.
I
I went with the wine. I went with the San Francisco. I went with San Francisco Grapers. Because grapes, wine, what
Yeah, I can see it.
So not gropers, grapers.
Yeah.
Grapers.
With a reach around.
Hey.
Be very careful. Gotta enunciate.
Yes. Grapers.
Not gropers, grapers.
Yeah. On mine, the Google search came up with nice bread bowls filled with clam chowder or various other types of chowder. So I went with the San Francisco sourdough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was one of their main themes out there.
Yep.
I love it every time I Google search San Francisco. The only thing I get, and my computer knows me so well, is the Ricers.
Ricers.
You can't
Every
go
time
wrong
I
with
leave
that name
San
either.
Francisco, all I hear is the bells, ding, ding. San
Yeah.
Francisco
Street. Yep.
Yeah.
And
all I
plus, who was one of their
did
best players on
Of
their team?
course, I had Chipotle today, so my computer's like, go look at me. It's like, nice.
I got the San Francisco Bay Shrimps,
Ooh.
and George has something Ciopino, which is a seafood stew combined by leftovers from fishermen hauled in that day with a red wine and tomato sauce. Whatever that is.
What leftovers are we talking about there? Have you ever been to a fish market?
That's what he has. You could ask him when he gets here.
Right. Please explain your San Francisco choice.
What the hell is that? Okay, which brings us to Arizona. George, let's go to Georgie, and he's got the Arizona tamales.
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely in that region.
Yep. I got the Arizona chimichangas.
God
Damn it!
That is ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, there it is.
It's a Mexican-based state. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Food. I mean, that's the most popular things everybody eats there is the chimichangas, and
Yep.
Damn, I was going that direction when he got down to Texas.
I still
You
can.
can go with any one of them.
Well, who do you got, Says?
I had I got the Houston Chimichangas.
No.
No,
Arizona.
Yeah, what do you got for Arizona?
I don't give a shit about Arizona.
Nah, nobody cares about Arizona.
Deadbird stew. That's what he's got. No, he's going to be El Mesa Cardinals.
Nothing for Arizona. You got to be shitting me.
No.
Hey, his mic works.
That doesn't look like a car. And we're not staring at his stomach no more.
You do, George. You froze on a gut shot.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Great.
for like 10 minutes, all we saw was your man boobs and stomach.
Great. Hey, at least
face that you look like you're trying to rip
must
one.
have been there.
Like you were lifting up your phone and trying to fart in the phone.
Nice.
All right, Mr.
Oh,
Zoll.
wait. No, hang on. George is here now, so we need him to explain the San Francisco one.
Okay. Old school one. It is the seafood stew combined by the leftovers of the fishermen, what they hauled in that day, that the store didn't purchase from them. So it was basically like a giant seafood stew. The Chiapino it's called.
Oh, that right there tells the wine. Okay.
Yeah.
Pinot is the wine.
And it was it was mixed with a red wine and tomato sauce and traditionally served with a sourdough bread.
Okay.
I said if I wasn't allergic to seafood.
Because I was
it
like,
sounds
we
great.
tried to explain it. We were like, what leftovers? I mean, have you been to a fish market before? There's a lot of things that are left over.
Right, because as they bring in the haul, certain people are going to be purchasing it, and it's like, what are you going to do with the leftovers? Back then, they turned around and just made a big damn stew and served everybody, homeless people, whoever.
Just
Now
like
imagine if you made it just
like
right. Homeless are coming to you every day.
Okay,
Right, yeah.
Just like the punchkis.
Mhm.
Right.
Sorry.
All right.
No, you
Punchki.
took my team name. The punch. No,
Oh.
no
I was
punch.
gonna say,
It would definitely fit for the Lions. The
It would.
Poochkies.
It would.
It technically would, yeah. All right, let's go to AFC South.
Oh,
And with Houston.
I already said
go
that.
ahead, Suds.
So that
Well,
Houston
we could go with the tacos, the chimichangas.
Thanks.
You go to any
you took
Mexican
mine.
food you want to go with at that point in time.
You just
Pick
took
one.
mine. I had the Houston tacos.
You know,
Houston
I
tacos.
use the chimichangas, the Houston tacos. You know, you
Houston
do the same
tacos.
thing with Dallas too. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, wait till you hear my Dallas one. Oh.
I was gonna say I had the fajitas, so
Yeah.
We all went Mexican at that
We
point in
did.
time.
I
didn't we?
did not.
Well, it's
Uh-oh.
that one's based off of in the once again in the Mexican era. So I mean that's why a lot of it's mostly Tex-Mex. You got your American Mexican food. I mean, you can call them the Houston black beans if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Go ahead, Bert.
Oh, go ahead, Zoe. You're right.
I was just gonna say mine was purely just based off the fact that apparently breakfast tacos are like huge there. There's breakfast taco shops all over the place, but I didn't want to call them the breakfast tacos. So I just used taco.
I actually went.
Sounds really good right now.
Yeah, I know it does, doesn't it? Hey,
I'm like
breakfast
thinking
sounds
if I
good
got
anytime.
sausage. I'm thinking of whether or not I have a sausage in this house. Like fry up a sausage, make some eggs, and like I'm hungry. Damn.
I could say so many things.
No,
Yeah, I left it alone, left it alone.
All right, let's go to an interesting one. With,
Hang on, did Birch didn't give his?
No, I went actually with the Houston briskets.
Briskets, nice.
Yeah, nice.
Texas or the Texas brisket. I love brisket, so Houston brisket.
And Acres, I think you were the last one, maybe. Or did you already get your?
It was the Tex-Mex with the black beans.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, so let's move on to Jacksonville, Mr. Birch.
Well, this one, looking up some of the food in Jacksonville was kind of interesting. So I saw this one, and I'm like, well, take this any way you want. But this is actually a very popular sandwich from back in the 70s, and it's still popular now. But it's called. So I went with the Jacksonville Camel Riders.
What?
That's what it's called.
That's
He's
what it's
right.
called.
That's exactly what it's
like,
called.
If you look it up, it's like a Christian Arab like sandwich that they made up, and it's like, dude, you can't call it. It's called the Camel Riders.
They also, however,
Wow.
shortened the name to just
Facebook's
a
gonna
rider.
cut us off so bad right now.
they occasionally shorten the name to a rider, which is what mine was called, the Jacksonville Riders.
Oh, I went with the whole name, buddy.
I'm gonna go with Jacksonville Riders at this
Yeah.
point. I'm gonna ride that coattail because mine was stupid, and I'll go with that. I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Riders.
The explanation I found was it's basically a sandwich tucked into a pita.
Yeah. Yep.
Usually with a side of tabbouleh salad.
Mm-hmm. No, I was going full. I was going balls of the wall. I wasn't going to shorten that one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, that leaves us Mr. George.
Fried gator.
The Jacksonville Fried Gator.
The Jacksonville Fried Gators.
That was the other one. I was like
fried gator.
Yeah, I was gonna go with like the fried
gator, not chicken.
Yeah,
it's gator.
Yeah.
Gator.
Tastes like.
That actually is that's right, fried gator.
And I had the fish tacos. Okay, so we'll go over to Mr. Suds.
Really?
He's got something for Tennessee.
Tennessee, damn. I hate that damn team.
Yeah.
How come I keep on getting the ones I don't have anything for?
We know you too well.
Yeah, bastards.
Planned it that way.
I guess you did. Because I'm waiting for like Minnesota and shit like that. I ain't got nothing for Tennessee.
I know, that's why I'm selecting you.
Yeah. The AFC South for me was just terribly unimpressive.
Yeah.
With the exception of the rider, which was just interesting. It was
Oh, my bad. I remember Moonshiners.
Oh, nice. That works. That's beautiful.
Because listen, you got all your major. I just dawned on me. All your major food groups, because you got rice, you got potato, and you got vodka. It covers the food groups right there.
I was gonna say the Bourbonites.
The only thing I came up with was the Tennessee cornbread.
You got that cornbread.
Got that cornbread.
So when I was researching it, they said that in Nashville they actually I think it was Nashville, but Tennessee in general. It was a candy thing named that. It was marshmallow, chocolate, and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that sounds exactly what I used to eat all the time in lunch. The Tennessee moon pies.
Ooh,
Nice.
There you go.
yeah. Oh, George dropped off, and we had the Tennessee catfish, and I had the Tennessee pulled porks.
See, it's all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's after 9:30. It's dark. It's Fueling Aces after dark.
Go to Taco Bell.
All right. Indianapolis and Mr. Birch.
I was actually shocked to see this, but Orville Redenbacher was from Indianapolis, Indiana. So I went with the Indianapolis Colonels.
Oh, nice. I like that.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
It really, yeah.
I was going with cornholes.
You said cornholes?
Huh?
You said cornholes?
Cornholes.
Cornhole.
Cornelio.
I
Corn.
looked up.
Indiana. Come on.
Yeah. That's what when I looked it up. It said tenderloin sandwiches. So I'm just like, all right, it's the Indianapolis tenderloin. That's fine by me. Like I said, thoroughly unimpressed with this division.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You couldn't just say the Indiana Porkers?
At that point, it was the last division I did.
That's funny. That's why I was like, I'm just sitting down like, I'm gonna go Porkers because something's gonna be loving it right now. And you,
I was there. I just didn't get there.
One of the most popular things is the pork loin, and
yeah.
Zolt was on floor 2, and
I just
were on floor 6.
The elevator just didn't get there.
It's not quite there.
that are the pudding poppers.
George got the Indianapolis tomatoes, and I have Indianapolis Hoosier pies.
Yeah, I saw that too. Anything with pie is always good.
Because it's pie.
Pie.
Pie, yes. Okay, we'll go to the NFC South.
Are you going in alphabetical order? Is that what you want to do?
No, we're just going division by division.
Oh, okay.
Division by division. NFC South, Mr. Akers. And Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
I have a very interesting one.
So do I.
Hold on, I gotta get my son. He's trying to get out of his chair.
Okay. And the thing is, my interesting one I know is shared by somebody else for a different city.
Then maybe I don't have the same one.
Well, since Akers, let's go. It's Mr. Zolt.
Okay. Literally, this was the one that over the weekend I threw in the chat room. Like, this is the right answer, but it sounds wrong. It sounds very wrong. The Tampa Bay Cubans, the Cuban sandwiches, delicious.
The Cubanos.
Yes.
That's what George has, is the Cubano.
Oh, the heat for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, when we had a discussion, he had it for somewhere else.
No, he's got it for Tampa Bay, the Cubanos.
Cubanos.
Yeah, the grilled ham and cheese with Swiss pickles, mustard, and salami. That actually sounds very nice.
Oh, God. Yeah, this is killing me.
And takeout, please. Takeout. Can I get a delivery?
DoorDash.
I got
where's Rich Plum when you need him, Mike?
You know what? I'm not even on the Facebook page. Is anybody commenting, or are we kicked off?
No, we're on there.
We're on. I just don't have it up.
That's what I said. Most of my stuff was dead, so I had to put them on the charger.
George says that he couldn't get us on Redline.
Yeah, we had some issues early where it was sort of showing up and sort of not showing up. He shared it to Dueling Aces about 6 minutes ago, maybe 8 minutes ago.
Okay.
So I don't know if you happen to pick that up, share it real quick. I did on mine, so that could explain why we're not really getting anything. But yeah, he said Facebook was really screwing around with us again.
What isn't it?
Mine was mostly
Fact.
going in the Tropicana section. You know, it was the pulpers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Going oysters, yeah.
That's why I was like, I'm watching my son. I'm like, he's got an arm up. That means the strap is off. I'm like, he's really trying to break out of his chair.
I got the Tampa Bay deviled crabs.
Deviled crabs?
Deviled crabs.
Morally on that coast, it's morally in the north section, but okay.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I was like,
Got me on that. I never
All
eaten crab down there. I've eaten a lot of other seafood stuff like that, but not no crab. Tampa's like my second home.
So I picked a very interesting one. Outback Steakhouse originated in Tampa Bay, and their experimental kitchen is there, and where they came up.
Dude, don't do this to me. I had a decent one. The bloomin' fucking onion, aren't you?
Yes, that's
You
who
bet.
I picked. Bloomin' Onions. The Tampa Bay Bloomin' Onions. Exactly what I went with.
God damn it.
That'd be a hell of a logo.
What are the odds of you? What are the odds of you doing the bloomin' onion?
I saw it. I saw it in there.
Fact. I never knew it was. I never knew that's where Outback started. Was down there.
I thought I had a good one there,
Oh.
and
It is a
nobody
good
else
one.
was gonna
It
get
is a
it.
good
it
one.
is. It
Yeah,
is
but I
a-
expected no one else was gonna get it.
Well, we're a smart bunch of group here.
I guess so.
Here.
we went to school.
Bloomin' onion.
I'm still a seventh year freshman in college. 7 years of best years of my life.
Bloomin' onions.
Why would you ever leave?
No,
Who was that?
that was
7 years of
PCU. That was from
Oh,
the
yes.
movie PCU.
PCU. Was
Alright,
it Jeremy Piven?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
yeah.
what the hell's that thing on HBO? The sports. What was that sports show he was on HBO? It was like a series, a TV series on there.
Yeah.
There were agents and all that stuff.
Yeah.
First and 10, I think it was called.
No. Right. Let's go to the next series.
Yep.
I'll tell you.
Hi, hey, there's George.
Hey, you got something in front of your mouth.
I'm having some issues at home. I don't know what the hell the deal is. I've had to reboot my whole damn thing, and it still doesn't want to connect to Zoom. So I have no idea.
Oh, alrighty then.
That's tonight all around. Just nothing's working the way it's supposed to.
It's the curse of us. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
It's part of our charm.
Entourage.
Yes, he was on. Yes, he was.
Entourage.
Are we on Atlanta now?
Yeah, I was just about to go to
Sure.
Atlanta. Yeah, let's go for it, Mr. Suds.
The Hush Puppies.
Nice.
Wow.
I mean, it's. That's I got nothing better than the Hush
That's
Puppies.
fine.
Good show up
I heard that growl, Acres. What was that for?
because he said hush puppies. He's going in the same category I was trying to go into.
Well, some of these places are pretty limited on what what their favorite
True.
foods.
Well, I was
True.
gonna say,
Yeah.
mostly in Atlanta, I was going to the fried foods, and that's basically all they really do down there, especially down in Savannah and all that. I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
I bet $1 to a donut. There's more than two of us that have some kind of alcohol for New Orleans.
No.
No?
I bet you there's two.
Nope.
I'm one of them, so I know that at least I'm at like 50.
Yeah, Atlanta was one of those where I was tempted to change it to Georgia instead of just Atlanta and just do something peach oriented.
Yes.
Just for the hell of it. But instead, I went with the Atlanta boiled peanuts.
I've never had a boiled peanut. Is it good?
I don't know. I saw the stands
roasted
everywhere
with just
though when I
water.
was down there.
Yeah.
Boiled peanuts.
See, I went with the
call them
peach.
the fuzzy navels.
I went
George,
with
Yep.
the Atlanta peach cobblers.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
what I went with too. And George had chicken and waffles.
Yeah, that was listed in. Yeah, I really wanted something, since I know George is, at least a partial fan of Atlanta. I wanted something to minimize the team, so I went with boiled peanuts.
He's a partial fan of every goddamn NFL.
This is
team.
true, especially if they're doing good.
Yeah,
It's just one team he doesn't have in his closet, and he's still trying to figure out who it is.
All right, Suds, we'll go to New Orleans for you because you had an
The
alcohol
bourbons.
there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
bourbon.
Yeah. It's just, that fruit was hanging right about here, and
I'm just gonna grab low hanging fruit. I mean, it couldn't get much easier than that.
no, that was right there, just waiting for you.
I mean, I think there are teams actually named that.
The bourbons.
there was, I think, or is that in?
I think.
There
Honestly,
has
God,
to
I
be.
think it's.
There
I think
has
it's
to
a.
be.
I think it's I'm gonna have to Google that. Which team's named the Bourbons? What sport team is named the Bourbons?
might be someone out of Tennessee.
I was gonna say it's probably Tennessee. Someone in Tennessee.
Yeah, the Jack Daniels. All right. Over to Birch, what do you got for New Orleans?
I went with. Well, my wife gave me this one. I went with something totally like off the wall with them. And she's like, "That's so stupid." I said, "Oh, thank you." So I went
Hey,
with.
thanks, honey.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Yeah. I went with the New Orleans Gumbos.
Oh, really?
That was an option. That was definitely an option.
Yeah.
Definitely an option.
Have a little crawfish on the side of their,
You
That's literally what I
rat
said.
bastard.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah,
Sold.
my options.
Sold.
I looked at gumbo. I crossed, and I spent way too much time down in New Orleans and Louisiana in general.
The gumbo.
Yeah.
And I thought about the beignets just for
I
the
did
hell
too.
of it.
Oh,
I did
geez.
too. I figured Mike didn't know what the hell that was. I'm like, oh, I can't go with that.
Oh,
And
really?
then-
Yeah.
And instead, I changed the name to Louisiana. I just called them the Louisiana crawfish.
Yeah.
There's my second choice.
Yeah, yep.
That's what I had also.
Somebody you were talking about that. What the hell is a crawfish? I was like, well, it's just like a lobster. It's just
Sort of.
small.
Yeah, it's like
much,
that.
much smaller.
It's
Much.
a
Yay big.
New Orleans crawdads.
Yeah.
I had the New Orleans crawfish, and George had the New Orleans po' boys.
No,
That was my
I
other
thought about
one.
that
Was
one
the
too.
Po' Boys.
Yep.
Well, my off the wall one was, you had the French Quarter there. So I was like, you know what? How about the New Orleans French bread pizzas? I was just something stupid like that, I was like, and that's when my wife goes, "That is so stupid. Think something else." I said,
It's
"Thank you, honey."
it's so stupid. You should have done it.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
We'll call them the French fries.
Ooh. Never thought about that one either. That's a good one too. Yes, yeah, anything French. You got the French Quarter, you can
Yeah,
do anything.
French fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Sorry about that, guys. Just one second.
Are we on to the north?
we got one
we
more
still
now.
got
not
Carolina.
quite yet. Carolina. And well, we also have the East after this. Can't forget the East. Carolina, and we'll start that off with 8 results.
All right. Yeah, this one was interesting. I literally found something that I'm just going to use that just because I don't know what the hell it is, and then I had to look it up. So they're now the Charlotte Burgushi, which is basically a sushi burger that they make there.
Sushi burger.
Yes, it's called a fusion of burger and sushi.
Ugh. Ugh.
Sometimes fusions don't mix.
No, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't.
No, I'm gonna have a little deviled eggs to get rid of that taste. So
Nice.
I'm gonna have Carolina deviled eggs. And I don't know what George is thinking, but he's got the peach cobblers. Wrong state.
It's George.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I just got barbecue. I got the pork loins.
Yeah,
Call them the loins. The Carolina
loins.
Carolina loins.
Carolina loins rolls off the tongue.
The loins are burning.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
kind of what I was going with.
Well, since The Panthers are in South Carolina.
No, they're not.
They're
Or North Carolina.
They play in Charlotte.
Well, you're right there in Charlotte. I'm all right. I was actually going with South Carolina. I don't know what the hell made me think they're in South Carolina.
It don't matter. They're called Carolina anyway. Pick whatever state you want.
I mean, why
Right?
we have to divide it anyways, right? Just make it one whole state.
Yeah.
And it was going with the. It's funny because you guys bounce past this. Down in South Carolina, they like the frog leg, so it's called a frog boil. Frog
Okay.
stew boil. And it's called, I can't even say it correctly. I don't know. Let me look it back up again. The Low Country Boil is what they actually labeled it, but it's called a Frogmore. Carolina Frogmore.
Interesting.
Frogmore. Carolina Frogmores.
So my pick, this company is located in Winston-Salem, which is just outside Charlotte. And everybody loves this company. It's nationwide. So I'm going to go with the Carolina Krispy Kremers.
Oh, for Krispy Kreme. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one was in there.
I didn't know it was down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thought about it. About it.
Krispy
Yeah.
Kremers. Put a. I can't. I'm not even.
That's just just too dangerous, man.
Yeah.
You look down, next thing you know, you've eaten half a box, and you're just
Yeah.
like, no, this is
Put a-
bad.
Put a
What
big
would their
cream stick
logo
in
be?
A
A
cream
box,
stick.
a friggin' box of donuts.
Oh, the Creamers. We're just buying the Creamers.
Oh, don't say
today.
the Creamers. Joe, you know that was mine for that one team. Dog. We talked about that earlier.
No, I'm going off of Burridge, who
I
I
said
know,
the
but you're
Krispy
still-
Kremers.
The Krispy Kremers is one thing. The Creamers is a different team.
Well, which division is that?
I'm not saying.
Let's say whatever it is.
I'm
Let's go
almost-
with that.
I'm almost willing to bet it's AFC East.
Well, speaking of the AFC East, let's go to the AFC East. We'll start it off with Buffalo, and we'll go to Sudsy.
Oh, Buffalo, that's the easy one. That you got to do the wings, man.
Mhm.
It's yeah.
That's like throwing a pitch right down the middle. They're the Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings.
I went with wings too. I said the Buffalo Atomic Wings.
There you go. Either way,
Yeah.
something wings.
I was
Chicken
going to say
wings.
I was going to say Parmesan wings, but I don't like Parmesan, so I was like, eh.
I love it how we go to the teams that we don't care about and we just give them the stupid names.
Speaking of which, I did not go with wings because, like I said, I tried to stay the hell away from anything obvious.
Yeah.
So, I almost went with what I actually think is a much better team name, the Buffalo Weck, because they do what is it? Shit, it's a sandwich. It's
It's
something.
a beef.
Yeah.
It's a beef on whack because that's what George has.
Yes. Yeah. I almost went with that, but instead, because it's Buffalo and because I know a couple people from Buffalo and they love their Bills, the Buffalo sponge candy. Yeah. It was on the damn Google list, man. Trust me.
I didn't look up Buffalo in Google.
Yeah, because you went with wings. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, it's like a sugary sponge candy covered in chocolate.
All right.
I just had to.
All right. Let's go to probably an obvious one with New England.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Zolp.
Oh no. You can't start with me. Nope.
That's the Beaners, baby.
The Beaners.
All right.
Boston Beaners.
Beaners.
Ooh. I like that one. I went with something else, which is one of my favorite lines in Ace Ventura when he wanted to get into the office and they gave him the password, but I didn't go with that.
What? You didn't go with the red or the white?
Yeah, I didn't go with it. I did. I almost did, but I didn't. So they just signed Cam Newton, right?
Yes.
The New England Fig Newtons.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant, I say.
Wow.
I was going to go with New England Clam Chowder,
Seriously, I was waiting for someone to say that because I was about to chime in going, is that the red or the
red
white?
or the white? Yeah, that's what it's like a great line there.
Actually, I can get clarification for you right now. I lived in Boston for over 20 years. The white is New England. The red is New York.
Yep. You are correct.
I have no idea what the fuck.
So if you say New England clam chowder,
type of clam chowder.
If you say New England clam chowder, you bet your ass you better be bringing me that white
It's the
sauce.
color of the chowder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's why you watch Ace Ventura and he's in the nightclub and he said, "What's the password?" He said, "New England clam chowder."
And is it the red or the right? I can never remember that.
He goes, "What? Damn it! I always mess this one up."
That's what I went with was the New England clam chowders. When you
because what makes you really think about it is when they go with the color on it, you think of Boston when you say New England, and then right to your mind goes red.
No.
That's where it's lost.
Yeah. Like I said, I lived there for 20 years. And which really made it weird when you posed the question, Zolt, on chat the other day. It's like, what happens if I change the name for New England? And I'm thinking, why?
That was literally just my random team that I threw out there. That was I did not change them.
Okay.
Although when I did look up Boston, came up with the Boston cream pie. So they are now the New England cream pie.
Pies. It's still within the 495 corridor. It still fits.
Didn't like bounce to the mind change because you said the beaners. Am I right?
Yeah.
I am surprised and shocked you actually didn't say New England teabaggers.
Oh.
Yeah, I was writing that one all day, thinking to myself, the Boston Tea Party. I'm like, everybody's going like you said, beans, clam chowder, and I'm like,
that would have been good.
Man, I'm sitting here writing it up. I'm like, man, Suds is gonna say it before I do.
Wow, that is awesome. Mine though comes with a new name on the stadium. The New England cream pie sponsored by Pornhub. Anyway.
Remember, no more groups. No more groups.
Junior.
Movies again.
I'm rubbing off on you guys. Clearly.
You do not use rubbing off in the next sentence after that.
I'm going to get phone calls from people's wives going, "What did you do to my husband?"
Not mine.
Blame it on me,
damn it. I don't know him.
Right.
All right. I think we're off the New England trail. Oh, wait a minute.
Miami.
What did George have? Yeah.
George had the New England lobsters.
That'd be kind of a cool logo to have, like, two claws coming, and like almost like Michigan. You know how they have like the wing, like kind of, I don't know if you call them wings on the front. They have like the two claws coming off the side like that.
That would be interesting.
What was that Summers catch where she was trying to find to be a mascot and she found out the Red Lobster wasn't good?
All right. Let's go down to Miami.
Oh, can I do this one first?
No, I want to.
Okay, I'll go. Okay.
Well, look at my jersey, man.
Yeah, let's go.
So there's got to be the Tunas.
That's what I said. I said I want to give tribute to the Suds. I said I want to call them the Miami Tunas.
Yeah. I mean, I had to say it first. I'm wearing the jersey.
Yes.
Dolphins say tuna.
That's who I had.
The Dolphin Tunas.
Dolphins say tuna.
There you go. There's another Ace Ventura. Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna. Hi there. Nice to see you. Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna.
So, who did you have for Miami? Just off this train wreck.
So between Miami and Tampa Bay, I had to use the Cubano somewhere, so that went to Tampa Bay. Miami, I went with the conch fritters.
What?
Conch fritters.
Conch fritters.
Yeah.
Like a conch shell. You open up, there's a thing in there,
Yeah.
and you fry it up, and you put it in a pastry thing, and you make a fritter out of it. It's a thing, damn it. Trust me.
It is.
Okay.
Hey, being down at Key West, that is.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's exactly what it said. It's like Miami, Key West. Or
Yep.
like
All those little
places.
islands in Miami
Yep.
connected. Yep.
So I went Cuban.
Yeah.
I went Cuban, and I
Yeah.
said the empanadas.
That's who George had, and that's who
Nice.
I had too.
Nice.
The empanitas.
Three-way on that one. That's
Right when Zoltan's
Oh no, he's moving.
Like
He's moving. I was like, wait a minute, did he freeze?
which
That was
brings us to the last
unnecessary.
AFC East team, the New York, formerly known as
Yeah.
Giants, and we'll give that to
Jets.
Jets, man.
Jets.
the Jets. That's right, Jets. We'll give that to Zolties.
Oh, all right. So yeah, again, like I said, I told George, it's like when we have two teams in the same city, they're no longer in the same
They're
city.
not in the
I'm
same
done with them.
city.
So these guys actually stayed for New York. The New York falafel.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good one.
I never thought about that one.
That's a good one.
Falafel.
Yep, that's isn't it like an Arab sandwich?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
a good
it's
one.
like a fried fritter made of chickpea.
So I have to tell this story before I come out tell you about the Jets.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So I've always had this tendency to make bets, and against morons.
This isn't new. You've said this already.
And I found a gentleman at work, and I said, you can pick whoever you want, whatever team. We'll do points, and I'll take the opposing teams, and we'll just do points depending on the thing. And he goes, okay, I'll pick the New Jersey team. I said, the New Jersey team? We're talking NFL, right? He goes, yeah, the New Jersey team. I said, there's no New Jersey team. Yeah, NYJ. And I'm like, oh, I'm taking money from a special needs person. But I took his money though.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I would.
So I said, so when I see the Jets, I think of Coney Island, New Jersey. So the Coney Dogs.
I got that for a different team though.
I actually went along that line because the Jets have never been winners. They've always been losers. And you always have the 4th of July hot dog eating contest in New York. So I went with the New York Wieners.
There you go. We're all going down the same path.
Yep.
I don't know. Let's see what you got there, Akers.
I was going with the ice shavers.
Ice shavers.
Yeah, because they're actually very popular with the Italian ice.
Mhm.
Yes.
When you leave Michigan, they're called snow cones.
But we don't go to that state up north.
I don't. I do. I don't care.
George, you had Italian ice,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the New York pretzels.
Pretzels was another one, yeah.
Yep.
Pretzels. All right. Take a little trip to Washington in the NFC East, and we'll give it to Akers because I see him
This
going,
was a hard one for
son
me
of a
because
bitch.
this is my actual location where I lived. So, I mean, it's a lot of seafood there.
Yeah.
I'd rather go with the Washington because basically when I was there, it was always about the Chesapeake Bay. So I always went with the Washington blue crabs.
Oh, you want blue
exactly what I
crabs.
had. Exactly what I had.
And I'll tell you what,
Okay.
when I lived down in DC, my dad we used to deliver the crab, and I used to go in the freezer and actually play with the blue crab while they were alive.
Oh. I was kind of thinking along the same lines with Chesapeake Bay, but I went with the Washington scallops.
Ooh, I love scallops, especially
Yes.
at a hibachi. Ooh.
Oh.
So I went political. I went political.
We were supposed to go to
I don't
political.
know. I'll explain it to you. You'll understand this. They're called the balonies because they're full of it.
I almost went political too. First I went with the Washington cream sticks because everybody sucks a big cream stick there, but I didn't. I went with the Washington apples.
Fair enough.
That would be the state of.
No,
the city.
No,
George
it's a
Washington
drink.
cut down the
There's a
apple
drink.
tree.
Right.
Plus George Washington, but there's a drink, a mixed
no
drink
proof
called the Washington apple.
cut down the apple tree.
Huh?
There's no proof Washington cut down the apple tree.
There's no proof that I actually had hair at some point in time. But since I say it happened, it's probably fucking happened, okay? They say he chopped down an apple tree. Prove that he didn't.
Prove that he did.
Okay. 200 years ago, this entire fucking country is covered in trees. He built a house, didn't he? He cut down a tree, didn't he? Chances are it was an apple tree.
He needed wooden
At least
teeth.
one.
Wow.
I proved it. There you go. Might have been a crab apple, but chances are he cut down an apple tree. He had acres of property. He had a farm. He cut down hundreds and hundreds of trees. Chances are he cut down an apple tree.
I was always so curious. Why was it so bad that he cut down a tree?
Hey,
Because it wasn't an apple tree.
If it's on the internet, it's true.
I'm great.
The only thing that makes sense is it was not an apple tree.
What if he planted an apple tree and later on had to cut it down? Maybe it was dying.
It's really funny that
You don't know.
trees were actually more popular in Pennsylvania because of Johnny.
Johnny apples.
Or Virginia. I mean, Pennsylvania and Virginia.
All right. George has the Washington turkeys.
Yep. Says it all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, you went political too. You shook your head on me just a moment ago.
Where the hell? Wait.
What?
Where the
Turkey.
hell is there a turkey?
There were plenty of turkeys back in the colonial days. That's what was.
Oh, Jesus.
DC.
I'm
Don't
like, there's
I
no
looked
way.
it up.
There's
It
no
was
way turkeys can be
turkey.
running around that fucking
It
city.
Wow.
was
Oh, wait.
turkey.
Take that back.
There are lots of
looked
turkeys
it up.
running around that city.
I looked
Lots
it
and
up.
lots.
I looked it up.
He can say what
Wow.
he wants at this point in time, but right now there are several hundreds of turkeys, and they go there elected every few years.
That's why I say, wait a minute, let me retract that.
Yep.
All right. Let's take a trip to Dallas. Who wants that one?
Oh, that was Ryan all day.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan. Let's go, Dallas.
So I went with steaks.
Ah!
Texas is always known for
Steakums.
big steaks. So I went with the Dallas T-boners.
I didn't think of that. I just shot steakums. That's all I could think of.
Nope. Dallas T-boners.
Oh, T-boners. Oh, that was good.
How about the Dallas Tex-Mex?
You can go any of those teams down there.
That was, like I said, the Dallas and Houston are almost in the same zone.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
It's going to be a Mexican food.
Yeah.
Something.
George,
Tacos.
you got
Dallas
the chicken
tacos.
fried steak,
fried
which is
steak.
close enough to the T-boners.
No, the T-boners is
cousins.
good.
And I got the Dallas pecan pies.
See, I'm real close. I had the Dallas Frito pie.
Ah.
Interesting little factoid that it may be true. I mean, damn it, it's on the internet. It's got to be true. Dallas Fort Worth, more restaurants per capita than anywhere else in the U.S.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it either.
Per capita, you're probably right.
That place is huge.
All right, let's take a little swing trip to Philadelphia. Who didn't have cheesesteaks?
I told you,
All
I
right.
never went with obvious.
All right, so what did you get?
For a minute there, I almost went with the the pork sandwich or the porkers, as Egger
Yeah.
suggested.
Yeah.
I changed it when I came across Scrapple. I went with the Philly Scrapple.
I was thinking South on the Scrabble. Oh my gosh! Wow.
So for anybody that doesn't know what Scrapple is, because I
It's
sure
good.
as shit had to look it up.
Good.
It pork
It's really a
spices.
South food, but it's good.
Yeah, pork spices and cornmeal. It's considered you crisp it up, you fry it really crispy. It's a breakfast meat.
That with grits and butter, you're good. If you have never had it, order some. You'll like it.
And Mr. Birch.
Well, every year, about the 12th, 13th game, Philadelphia is pulling people off of practice squad after practice squad because all their players are crumbling from being hurt. So I went with the Philadelphia pretzels because they crumble like pretzels.
Oh, you could have gone cornbread and that. Really nice, probably.
Eh.
Here and there. All right, last NFC East team, New
Could have
York.
went with popsicles too.
What did
'cause
George
they
have?
melt away.
Cheese
George
steak.
Oh, okay.
cheesesteaks. That's
Okay.
because George and I had it, and I'm sure something.
Yeah, that's why I said
You
I
know,
wasn't
lot of
digging too
people.
much, and that was another one.
All right, so the last NFC East team, New York, George.
The Giants.
The dim sum.
Dim sum.
Dim sum. Yep.
Dim sum dumb
It's
food.
it's apparently one of the mainstays, and Italian ice and dim sum. Those were the two.
Ice and dim sum.
Okay, Akers, what did you got? Said the Giants there.
This is the one where you guys were like, shoot me backwards and left. And the Giant Stadium is actually over in Jersey. Am I right?
So is the
Yeah,
Jets
no, you're right.
stadium.
It's in Jersey.
Okay. 'Cause I was
Technically
like,
in Jersey.
East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Yes.
no, I was most of the time that a lot of people like eating over there. Them Italians over there like to eat them tomato pies. I was trying to think of some dumb name with it, but what was the other one? Oh, the hoagies.
The hoagies. Yeah.
I was trying to think of that tomato pie one. I was trying to find it again, but I couldn't locate it. But yeah, the hoagies. That's another one. Yeah.
Hoagies. All right, Ryan, what did you get?
One of my favorite lines in the Godfather first part. Leave the gun. Or wait, yeah, leave the gun. Take the cannolis. The New York cannolis.
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 Cannolis. Yeah.
You can only lose once.
Yep.
Yeah, and like Edgar said, they're in New Jersey, and there's somewhat of a beef between New York and New Jersey as to who makes the better one of these. So they're now the New Jersey bagels.
Ah,
Oh, the
my
bagels.
wife's from New York. She actually brought up the bagels.
I was just going New York style pizza.
No,
So like the
New York style
pepperoni.
pizza, yeah.
But that's in New York.
The thin crust shit. Ugly stuff.
And that's
That
I went with-
was kind of funny because this is one of the topics George and I were having a fight with the other day between the two teams.
I got the New York corned beef.
Corned beefer.
That's a good one.
All right, we're gonna go back to the AFC, and we're gonna go AFC North,
AFC North.
and we'll give it to Burrich for Cleveland.
Oh no,
Well-
no. Those guys go last. Detroit and Cleveland are dead last.
Oh, okay. So we'll
Okay.
We did that. We were doing that on purpose.
Okay, so all right, we'll
Detroit,
go
Cleveland are dead last.
Baltimore then. Baltimore.
Okay, Baltimore. I went with SpongeBob on this one. And I went with the Baltimore Krabby Patties.
George
Well,
got
that's
crab
the
cakes,
thing.
and I
Yeah,
got crab
I
cakes too.
That was what I was
Crab
gonna
cake.
say.
I just got crabs. That way we can say Baltimore's got crabs.
Baltimore's
Yeah.
got crabs. Yeah.
I got crabs.
I was going that route too. It was like, oh well, it's crab cakes. I'll be different, but okay.
That and the jumbo shrimp. I mean,
Yep.
they're really good. If you really get the nice jumbo shrimp right off the bay with them, they're good. That's why I was like Washington. I would give them the crabs just because, like you, they're always crabby about something.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, let's take a look at what the hell it looks like right now.
Let's see.
Oh, what the hell was Cincy? Jesus.
All right, we'll go to Pittsburgh, which is probably going to be another obvious one.
Ketchups. The ketchups.
Pasters.
Well,
I mean, it's Heinz Field. They got to be the
Heinz,
ketchups.
yeah.
I went along that line. I said the Pittsburgh Rotten Tomatoes.
now that
I was going to say Rotten Green Tomatoes, but they don't have any green here, so it's Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
That actually flows right in with the other players they got.
Yeah.
the tomatoes one for me is Indianapolis. I
Yeah.
found out that Indianapolis is a high constituted tomatoes. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I went with the Pittsburgh pierogies.
Yeah,
That's
Georgia
what I
Knight.
had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
pierogies.
Yeah.
Pierogies.
that was.
Well, Indiana also has a high concentrate of soybeans too, by the way, because every few years they have to switch from cornfields to soybeans because the soybeans, when they grow, they actually put nutrients back into the ground, and that way they could grow their cornfields again.
That's what the corner
Indians.
do.
The Indians did squash, corn, and was it soybeans all together or something like that?
Yeah, because you have to do every couple of years you got to do soybeans or something to that effect, and then they sell the soybeans to different factories. They actually produce fuel with that. My brother's a chemist in Indiana.
Ah,
That explains the Indiana nerdum real quick.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to Cincinnati.
Well, there's only one for that one. That's the stupid chunky chili.
yeah,
what
Cincinnati chili.
I went with the Cincinnati Chili Bowlers.
You
I
came
got-
up with I
I actually had something different.
So did I.
Yeah. Suds, what did you get?
Because they had kind of the same thing for Cleveland too. They have a big thing about ice cream. Ice cream being that's what. Hey man, I'm looking at the shit up and I'm like, what ice cream? They had it for Cincinnati Bengals Grater's ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream is definitely known for their unconventional chili spaghetti topped with meat sauce and piled high with cheddar cheese. But they're also famous for Grater's ice cream. If you like the combination of fruit and chocolate, you will love the bestseller Black Raspberry Chocolate Chip. So
Grater's is actually pretty good.
Yeah, because both Cleveland and Cincinnati are ice cream, according to this. I'm calling both teams. I'm putting them together. They're called the Creamers.
Nice.
Thank you.
I don't even hear the crickets on that. That's
Somebody that's just because you're a hater. So
Yeah.
the other Lions people are going, yeah.
No, that was just bad.
They're called the Creamers.
You've got some good ones. That one was just
They're called
Bad.
the Creamers.
But so we've discovered Cincinnati does wonderful ice cream and the nastiest damn chili you could ever eat.
Yep. I
Good
agree.
thing I don't like chili. I don't eat chili at all.
For Cincinnati, I have something called the Gettas. Goetta.
That's ghettos.
Getta.
Does that stand for get us a real team?
Yes.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on just 1 second. I'm gonna look it up right now. Because I saw it on what they're known for.
Oh, the Gouda.
Gouda.
Meat
Gouda.
and green sausage or mush of German
Yeah.
inspiration that popular in the Cincinnati area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks almost like a scrapple. It looks nasty. I'm just saying.
It might be really
mean,
good, but it's only
look.
in Cincinnati.
Look at that. Did
Oh,
you see that? That
It's a
What
brick.
it looked like when it was
that looks
different thing.
look at that.
Hey, look, there's the scrapple down there.
Yeah. Yep.
that's a perfect explanation there, Zolt. A brick.
Thank you.
Ew. Damn.
Ugh.
No thanks, I'll pass.
Yep.
Throw it
Which leads
someone's
us
window.
to the last of the AFC North teams. George, give me Cleveland.
Kielbasa is the general staple for Cleveland since the surrounding area in the 1600s. When Slovak and Icelandic folks settled, that's what they turned around and made, was kielbasa. That's pulling out old school. I mean, some serious old school.
Serious old school. Serious old school. Birch, what did you get for Cleveland?
Someone stole mine already for another team, but since Cleveland's been back since in 1999, they've been very silent, except for 1 year, and they have the dog pound, correct? So I went with the Cleveland Hush Puppies.
Sorry.
I know it's okay, but the Hush Puppies because they can't win shit.
Right?
See, that's almost like what George said about the Polish section. You know, I've been trying to find this, and Panini has it. I don't. Maybe it's not Panini. I don't know. Maybe you know what it is, Ryan. It's really, really good. So before we would go to the Browns game, we would stop at the restaurant, and you would get this giant sandwich, and in this sandwich was potato fries, egg. Oh, Jesus Christ. What was it? Hamburger. It was large. It literally was large. And it's actually so popular before Browns games that people would actually order it so much that the crowd would be out. And I cannot find the name of it. Do you know what it is?
Is it like a panini?
That's what I thought they were trying to say it was, but I thought that's what the name of the restaurant was.
No, that's the name of the sandwich too.
No, that's the sandwich.
Panini sandwich. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, because I was trying to like dig it. I'm like, no, that's the restaurant. And I'm like, okay, so I missed it up here somewhere. But yeah, I was like,
oh, that's what it is. Yeah, no, they actually Pittsburgh and Cleveland has a lovely war between paninis, which I don't know if anybody from Michigan's eaten down in here in the paninis. I always get I just had one last week or 2 weeks ago. I get the bacon, egg, and ham. So you get two thick slices of bread, bacon, egg, and ham on top on the bottom part. They put French fries on top of that. Then they put coleslaw on top of that, and then they put the slice of bread. Really, really good. Well,
you lost me at the coleslaw.
But it's actually I don't eat coleslaw. The only thing I eat coleslaw on is the panini sandwich. But paninis in Cleveland is kind of like in a friendly rivalry with Pastrami Brothers in Pittsburgh. It's the same. So they everybody says, oh, Pastrami Brothers or not Pastrami Brothers, Permani Brothers. Sorry, Permani Brothers. Permani Brothers is better than Panini's. So I've eaten at both of them. I know I'm a homer, but I think Panini's is better. But it is really, really good. But you can get they have a whole selection.
Oh yeah, you can make a whole different thing out of that. It's like I liked it because when we went and he was like, "Dude, you gotta try this." I'm like, "All right." I'm watching the dude making a sandwich. I'm like, "Dude, what is that guy making?" Because I'm gonna order it. I didn't care how much it cost. That's literally how good it was. And the waitress comes up. I go, "I want that." And she goes, "What is it?" I go, "I don't know." With whatever he had with the egg, the bacon, the French fries, the coleslaw, like it was like 6 items on this thing.
Yeah, the Panini's over next to Jacobs Field, Progressive Field. I've been going there since I was like 13 years old, and those things and the same guys that worked there when I was 13 work there now when I'm 39. Those guys, they don't leave, and it's the same people making the same sandwich over.
And that's how you know you're going to get
really,
the same thing you order too. Like,
no
matter what the flavor is, it's, So
that's something I can't do. Coleslaw on sandwiches. I like coleslaw
you can take
on the side.
Yeah.
Don't put coleslaw on the sandwich. No.
Not on a barbecue sandwich?
No, absolutely not.
That gives you the tang flavor right there.
No. I make my own sauce for the tang flavor.
So it's either going to be the panini, Cleveland paninis. That's what you said the sandwich was called, or the Polish boys.
That's another. Polish boys too. That's a good one.
That's what I was like when George said something about the Polish. I was like, "That's funny," because that's literally what I'm showing. That's what I was shooting up.
Well, that was my New Orleans one. Was the po' boy?
Yep.
That's
Okay.
Yeah. For Cleveland, all I came up with the pizza bagels. It's a popular seller in Cleveland. Okay.
I came up with the Cleveland corned beef.
Yes,
That's a popular dish.
He turned around. He found Zolt found Slimans.
Yep.
He found Slimans. Yep.
That's a car dealership.
No.
I have another one for our that's George put me onto this. I didn't even know this existed. He notified me he was bringing these up, the Twinkie factories. So we're gonna call them the Twinkies.
The Twinkies.
Where do you remember you used to bring them up to me from the Twinkie factory?
It was just a wholesale. It was one of the wholesale.
You called it the Twinkie factory. You're bringing me Twinkies all the time, so I'm gonna call them the Twinkies.
It was a Wonder Bread outlet.
Yes, a Wonder Bread store.
So we're gonna go with the Twinkies.
Doesn't matter, George.
It was the only good thing that ever come out of Ohio that I know.
I hate it.
Like Zolt said, it's on the internet. It must be true.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right. All right. Which leads us.
Is that a Mighty Ducks jersey there, Zolt?
This is 20 years ago a team I used to play on.
Oh, it looked like the Mighty Ducks to me.
No,
from the
not
top.
quite.
I didn't see the rest of it.
That was the meaner Ducks.
The meaner Ducks. All right, which brings us
that was actually.
I have the Mighty Ducks jersey downstairs.
That was actually Team Ramrod.
Oh, hey, Team Ramrod did it. Team Ramrod, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Number 2 was a bust.
I never seen it yet.
Don't.
Give me a liter of cola. Do we even sell a liter of cola?
It doesn't matter. All right, last division, NFC North. We're gonna go Minnesota and Birds with that city Ingrid.
I never knew this was a thing in Minnesota, and I was up there for a summer. Umpired up there for a whole summer, and I going in restaurants and all that. I never knew about this. It goes right along with our Dueling Aces program, where our heads are not where they should be.
No, not us.
I'm going with the Minnesota Juicy Lucy's.
That's what I got.
It is a burger with cheese inside of it instead of on top of it. But I just wanted to say Juicy Lucy.
That's what I should grin. I was like, oh god, this gotta be good.
Yeah.
All right, Acres, Minnesota.
There's your Juicy Lucy.
Okay.
Oh.
Very, very good.
Oh, the other one's very big.
Who's hungry?
Man,
after all this,
only for like the last hour and a half.
Hey, I haven't been able to. I can't eat after 8 o'clock because I got to do a physical tomorrow at work and I get taking blood, so I can't eat or drink. So I'm kind of pissed off.
Nice.
Good.
Mine was going to be the tater tots. That was actually out of Minneapolis, basically one of their comfort foods, as they say.
Yeah.
For foods, yeah.
The tots.
Tots.
That's going back to our. What kind of logo would a Juicy? You can come up with a shit ton of Juicy Lucy logos, and it wouldn't even be a burger.
Right.
It wouldn't be.
I could get messy.
All right,
But I digress.
I found one that I had to look up and see what the hell it actually was. So apparently there's this thing where they make a stew Literally, just about anything can be in this. It can corn, tomatoes, cabbage, carrots, whatever, various meats.
Oh,
Then they make
soup.
they'll make it like 30 gallons to 100 gallons of it at a time.
Jesus.
Just a million friggin' people doing this, and they call it a booyah. So I went with the Minnesota booyah.
All right.
Do they
Booyah!
have like one of those big black kettles like you see in front, like a witch's black kettle? Like you just like,
Yeah.
big, like you got
Right.
an oar.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
They call it hobo soup.
Oh,
It's hobo soup. My mom makes it. Not bad.
All right, Suds, what do you got for Minnesota?
Well, figure they're so close to Green Bay in the first place, and they're always second fiddle to them. And Green Bay being the cheese heads, I go with the cheese puffs. Not quite as good.
No.
I love cheese puffs.
Not as quite, but they're not as good as the cheese heads. They're the cheese puffs.
I'd rather take the cheesy. Oh no, you should have the Minnesota cheesy poofs.
Cheesy
Nice.
poofs.
The cheesy
Cheesy
poofs.
poofs. That's from South Park.
South Park.
Ma!
I want some cheesy poofs.
Meatloaf!
I got the Minnesota walleyes.
See, you could have gone that with Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the walleyes is the Minnesota state fish, so
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Interesting.
that was really quick look up. Okay, done.
Doug is pulling it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Trying. Not doing a very good job. At least I'm trying.
Yeah.
And since Sudsy kind of gave it away earlier, we'll go to him for Green Bay.
Oh, you got the cheese heads. I mean, obviously, it's
That was
they already do it.
Yeah.
Why, what's up?
Purge. What's that shit-eating grin for?
Well, I kept the Packers name in it.
Oh no.
Oh, no. The Bud Packers?
Green Bay Meat Packers.
Well, it's, no.
Mine was fairly simple. The Green Bay bratwurst.
Yeah. Yep.
Acres. Who did you have for Green Bay?
Well, it's funny because this is where Culver's is actually from. And so I went with the cheese curds.
These curds, yeah. You
Those
could
are
have gone that
delicious.
route.
They're actually really good and buttery.
George?
Green Bay shepherd's pie.
You just wanted to say shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
Who is she?
Oh, it's talking about.
Right?
It says shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie. It's
Sounds
the
like
way
it.
you said it.
Sounds like a little touchy subject you got there, George.
Shepherd's pie. Yeah, I went with
No, not what you speak of.
the Green Bay Cheddar Heads. And sticking with the
Yep.
cheese. Eh,
No, it was like Zolt said, sometimes you have to go with the obvious,
Sometimes you do.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Speaking of obvious, our last two teams. We'll go to Chicago first. And Zolty.
I didn't want to just say pizza, so I said the Chicago deep dish.
Deep dish. Yes.
I said
Yeah,
the deep dish.
It's gotta be deep dish.
Yes,
Yep.
deep dish.
That was literally the debate we were talking about in New York. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, the deep dish was in New York. He's like, no, it originated in Chicago.
The
Yep.
Chicago
Go.
deep dish.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a different one. I got the bear claws.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Holly, shut the hell up.
Nice.
All right. Did anybody else get anything besides deep dishes?
The hell was that trying to say about Mahomes?
Okay.
Oh, besides
No, I was
Mahomes
going
is
with deep dish. I don't know.
Mahomes is buying into a baseball team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Royals.
Royals.
Yeah, that was.
Partnership.
It was saying something about Mahomes is dropping in ranking as Lamar takes number one.
Don't pay attention to that stupid.
That's what I was like. I'm reading. I'm like, what the hell is it trying to say?
We're talking about food here, damn it.
Yeah.
Stick to
Different
what
show.
you're doing.
Different show.
Yeah.
And the last team, Detroit. George.
Low hanging fruit.
Coney Island.
Yep.
I had to go with the Coney Islands.
Detroit Conies.
Detroit Conies. Yep.
I miss them tremendously because there is some locale here that claims that they are a particular dog heaven place, and they think that their chili dog or coney dog is the bomb, and it's not even close to anything that Detroit can produce.
Coney dogs.
In fact, the only place that actually can is actually right here in Vermilion at the Main Street Grill. He actually is a contender to come close to anything out of Detroit.
Out of Detroit, the Detroit Conies, absolutely.
Or even Brian's. So,
oh God, no, but to try to top Brian's, I'm sorry, that's going to take a little bit.
So I went with the most popular places in Detroit, and they have one about every 100 yards, and that's liquor stores.
Oh,
liquor stores.
I was gonna say Little Caesars.
No, liquor stores. So I'm gonna call them the Detroit Lions Liquors.
Detroit Drunks.
Or the
Lion.
Detroit Liquors. You can't use lion. It has to be food.
Oh, liquors then.
Detroit Liquors.
Detroit Liquors.
Detroit Liquors.
Wow. Okay.
I was gonna say
Liquors, Juicy Lucy's to liquor.
Whoever's at Little Caesar, yeah, you just might as well call them the Detroit already.
I said it, but I didn't use it.
I can't believe something just like you guys went. I mean, when you said Coney Island, all I can think is every time you say Coney Island, all I can think of is New York. So I mean, but I understand Mackinac and all that. Mackinac Island is famous for what a little bit.
Oh, fudge.
Fudge.
Fudge. The Fudge Peckers.
I can't even come close to that, but
that's what she said.
Oh.
It could be peanut butter, it could be chocolate, whatever you want to be.
I couldn't help it.
I'm gonna bring up the rear here.
He's throwing the dolphin in.
So when you think of the Detroit Lions football, you think of what?
Losing.
I try not to.
Besides that, you think
that
of
was great telepathic right there. Just saying.
You think of Thanksgiving
losing badly.
Day. No, Thanksgiving Day. The Detroit Cornucopias.
Huh?
Are you talking about chirps?
Yeah.
No. No, they're out here in my front yard. Don't worry.
I
told you I couldn't come close with the Fudge Packers.
Nope.
That's the only thing I can think of was.
I was like, wow, you guys go straight Coney Island. I'm like, Suds is probably gonna tear that one up. So I'm like, I'll leave that one there, and that and Big B's coffee.
Zolt, what'd you have?
Oh, I had Conies. Like I said, that was my one low-hanging fruit that I grabbed. I was like, nah, that's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
So Conies in Detroit. So is it? Conies is what? More Mackinac? Is that what it is?
No, Detroit.
No,
all over the place.
Conies are food.
I know. It's the hot dog and all that. So is it the battle between Detroit and New York?
Yes.
Coney's in New York.
Yep.
Coney Island.
That's what you guys
It's a big fight.
When you say Coney,
they immigrated to
dogs,
Detroit.
I'm thinking of Coney Island when they do all hot dog stuff.
But they brought it from New York, and then of course, because just like the pizza is different in New York than it is in Chicago and Detroit because of the water. You don't want to get started with what's in the New York water. So that's why it's totally different. And that's why Detroit's is better.
I don't know what a bunch of bodies are.
See?
All kinds of fluids.
Both.
A lot of mercury. That's all I can say. A lot of mercury.
Yeah.
Just like catching a fish in Lake Erie. You might have 3 eyes. You never know.
You never know.
It's only by Davis Betsy.
that pretty much wraps it up.
Now, so Detroiters, who's got the best conies?
So George is gonna have to, I guess, gonna take me to Detroit now and get me one.
Ooh, that
There's
could
a
be
day
a road
trip.
trip. That
There's
can
a
be a road
scavenger
trip
hunt.
arranged.
Like I said, I lived at Alpena. Never really had a coney dog up there. I was mostly like, your basic foods with your fishes and stuff like that. But
Yep.
that's why every time you guys say coney, that's all I can come to mind is the boardwalk.
Bring them up August 15th for our game. We need more players.
All right. Well, I'll discuss it with Mr. Akers and let him know that there's.
Don't you said you need another person for the fantasy draft?
We need more people for the poker game too.
Detroit. That's what you were saying. Detroit's
that can be discussed off air.
Yeah.
That can be discussed off air.
Off whose hair?
Suds. Oh, wait a minute. There aren't any.
Narrows it down.
Hey, listen. 50% of this screen don't have hair.
That's right.
On top of their head. So back the fuck off.
Hey,
What do you say?
Yeah, see?
I wasn't really harassed.
Oh, wait.
Just saying. Oh, geez. Now he's trying to bring a bald spot in.
Yeah.
No, there ain't one.
Okay. Just really quick, since we're pretty much done with our main topic. ESPN about an hour ago. ACC sets 11-game football schedule.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Includes Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
yes. Notre Dame is going to the ACC because that's where their basketball team is at.
Yeah, it would only make sense. Yeah.
That's why I was talking to somebody else about it, and he got the actual backstory with that. He said they're going to jump into the ACC. But I said to my conscience is, what is NBC going to do? Are they going to give up the rights this year just because of everything?
No, NBC's not giving up the rights. They came to an agreement to share some of the money with the ACC.
Okay.
Did you guys discuss about Mr. Kelly's 8-game suspension?
No,
we didn't bring that up yet.
Yeah.
I thought it was priceless. If anybody deserves an Oscar, he definitely does. I thought it was hilarious and entertaining as all hell. And it serves the Astros right.
What happened?
They know that it was coming. They flat out knew it was coming, and he was slinging it on purpose. You knew it. You just knew it. But I think it's a bunch of crap. 8 games.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, what is that prorate out to 22?
Something like that. 26 maybe.
It's stupid.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous. He didn't even hit him.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of talking about prorated with Major League Baseball, so I don't even want to.
Well, hold on.
You first have to go through a probation.
If the
Appeals.
number of games might be high, but you got to look at it was also a pitcher who's in an 8-game schedule, 8 games that he got suspended is going to pitch what, twice, maybe.
He's a relief. Isn't he a relief?
Yeah,
pitcher
I was
now?
gonna say I don't think he was a starter.
No, he's a relief
He's
pitcher.
not starter. He's a reliever.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
So he's going to be suspended for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's still a bunch of garbage. It's just ridiculous.
Well,
He's
just
appealing
because
it.
I was about to say,
He's
just
appealing
because
it.
they said he's suspended doesn't mean he's going to be. How
Now-
many times did they cut that shit in
long.
half?
That long,
Yeah, but here's the thing. Usually what they do is they always hear the appeals when they go to New York, whenever that team goes to play a team in New York, because that's where the main office is at. Well, now that they're playing regional games, LA doesn't go to New York at all.
But you zoom it.
And that's what that's what I'm saying. They'll
They'll zoom it.
But that's how they usually do the appeals process is whenever a team goes into New York, that's when they hear the appeal. But now that everybody's doing Zoom, hint, hint, wink, wink.
They stole it from us.
Yeah. So they came out beginning of the year saying, in spring training, people better watch it. And I know the Astros deserve it for what they did, but the Major League Baseball says don't do it.
And they did.
They did it. So is 8 games harsh? Maybe. I don't know. But
I mean, I guess
the second one was a curveball.
Is he a pitcher that's actually good to be on his roster? I mean, that's the question. They suspend the right relief pitcher.
Yeah,
he's a decent pitcher. Yes.
I mean,
a
that's
lesson to the team. Put the scrub out.
Games.
Hey, there was a local high school coach here that when they played rivals, he would take the guy off the end of the bench and start a fight with the best player on the other team, and they both get kicked out. Well, that guy on the bench never played, so he's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Way to do it.
You throw the third string linebacker in there and say, take the quarterback out.
Yeah.
Hey.
Smart. It's actually smart.
So obviously Major League Baseball is trying to send a message with the 8 games. Do you think the message takes? Or
No, because next time they'll make sure that the person they put out
it'll
there
just be a scrub.
will be a
Yep.
complete
Will be a
scrub.
scrub.
I'll pull him from my
start
taxi
flunking.
squad. Pull him from my taxi squad.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, who has Houston played already?
I don't even know.
Houston. Oh, I don't know.
Who they play? They played Angels.
Because the Dodgers, who did they play in the World Series that year?
Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Okay,
That's
that's
why it
why.
happened.
That's why they were
That's
just
why.
on about it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure. I was trying to look it up, but my internet wasn't moving fast enough. And as of right now, it's at the top of the 11th, 1-1, Houston and LA.
The Mariners. They've also played.
Okay, Mariners. Yeah.
And Seattle also threw at them.
But did they hit anybody?
Well, he didn't hit anybody in the
Yeah,
first.
he didn't hit him
He
either.
didn't hit anybody here either.
No, he hit Berkman last night.
No, he
Oh,
didn't.
it went behind him.
It went behind him.
Well, was it ball
Never
4?
hit him. It
Never
never hit him. It
So that was
never
ball
hit
4 when he threw it at him.
him. Right.
Okay.
And
I
in
was gonna
Korea,
say,
too.
Looking at it,
And Korea
it hit him
too.
off his back, and that's why he stood up and walked away. And I'm like, but then when he went back at
It was when they were jaw jacking, and that's what cleared the benches. And it's like, I'm sorry, there's jaw jacking all the time.
but that was back
Wait a
to
minute.
back. So
They threw at 2 people in the same inning.
oh, yeah.
Good for them.
Go to the replay.
They actually, I think Major League Baseball put this out. The reason why they suspended him was because of the face gestures he made
It was
to
part of it.
the other team.
It was part of it.
I swear that's what they said. I
They-
thought I saw that
they-
on the scrawler on the bottom.
They
Yeah,
said it
it's
was
like, I'm
part
sorry,
of it.
Where is that in the contract that says you can't make faces at the other team?
Right.
Sorry about
I mean,
your
if he
camera.
went like this to him,
Well, but he didn't. But it was like,
yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah, he threw it Berkman and then he threw it Carrera, wasn't it? It was the second
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
They never hit him.
But he never hit him.
Two
So
fastballs by Carrera's head. And that's when he started walking down.
I know.
The one I saw, it was by his head. It was like a curveball slider that
Yeah, it was
Got
totally
away.
behind him.
My phone took fastball, so that's why I wasn't. If I thought maybe what it was.
I'm definitely one of the ones. Yeah, that's fine. They're going to get thrown at, and they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the ball down.
Well, you know what's going to happen
Exactly.
right now is the odds are just
Yeah.
in Vegas on who's the first one going to be hit. So that's why I joked around is when they get in the box, is there a pitching machine in front of them teaching them how to get out of the way fast enough?
I talked about this with my dad, a couple months ago about it, and I said, listen, players will police themselves. If they throw it at their ankles, their thigh, or their butt, that's one thing. Once they start traveling up the body and to the shoulder and to the head, that's a whole different
Yeah,
ballgame.
that's.
I don't think you would have as much of a story if he would have got hit in the leg or the butt or even the ribs.
I mean, if he was
I don't think they would have a problem with the ribs
They
either.
probably blew it up a little bit. But like you're saying, these pitches that he threw at the batters were at neck high. I mean,
Well, the one to Bregman, he threw actually behind him at his back. It wasn't even at his head.
well, that was what that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like he dipped out of the way, and in Carrera, he kind of he went backwards, and you can see it just go across his face. And I mean, it'd have been kind of funny because the way he dropped, he left the bat there. So I'm like, can you imagine? He's dropping out of the way, and he actually hits it back to the pitcher.
Yeah. Well, And,
I mean,
and
how do you
deeper-
think that would have went?
Deeper in the article, it says he was docked for 6 games in 2018 for plunking and then fighting with Tyler Austin of the Yankees. But he hit him and there was a fight. Here, there was no hit. There was no fight. He was
But
just,
It goes.
They're using his
just
previous.
which is a bunch of
meh.
bunch of BS because he never hit the guy and nor did he turn around and fight the guy.
But they
This
also
right here is going to tell you that the MLB knows that everybody's after Houston,
And they're trying to stop it.
and they're not
Well,
trying to stop it.
No, they
No.
tried to stop it
Good
early
luck.
in the spring training when they put the directive out there and say, listen, if you're going to throw at them, you're going
So,
to get
8-game suspension. That's trying to stop it. I mean, like you were saying, 8 games is 2 weeks. Some of
It's a
these guys,
week
like
and-
I
a
said,
week and
only
a
want to
day.
play a sport just to get a pay.
It's a week and a day.
Yep.
And especially for as many games as they're going through straight right now. What, he misses one off day?
So basically, if he had a sore leg, he was sitting out in the DL anyways, and it's just now, obviously, I get to sit down and not have to worry about it. And just say, hey, I'm suspended instead of be putting on the DL list.
And the answer to somebody's question of who they played so far, a 4-game series with the Mariners, and now today was the second game with Dodgers.
This is their second series?
Yes.
Well, yeah, you're right. This is the second series. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And why would Seattle throw at them?
Because every
Just because they want
single
to put
team,
the short-
Every team.
Every
team
single
wants to
team.
send a message that you don't do
There's-
this shit.
There's money going through PayPal from other teams to certain pitchers. There's money coming through, funneling through PayPal and Venmo. Okay.
We'll pay your fines. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you get a $5,000 fine? Check your PayPal. You're covered.
And
Yeah, I
rightfully so. You know what? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And you decided to cheat you cheated the entire league. You didn't just cheat one team, you cheated everybody.
Mhm.
And you know what? When you do that shit, you got to pay a price.
Yep.
You know, what did they do to them? What did the league do to them?
Nothing.
Nothing.
They
Damn.
suspended,
Their
they
title.
suspended the
Well-
GM and coach for a year.
Yep. And
Yeah.
both guys
And
were
Houston
fired
let 'em
from
go.
their jobs.
Yeah, I was going to say they
They
lost
were
their
fired
job.
from their other jobs.
Yeah,
when they
Alex Cora, you had Beltran from New York.
That would right there would have sent the message. This would have been gone if the 3 main hitters that had the highest batting average when all this was going on, if they would have been suspended for the year, if this was true, like they said, they went through the studies, this would have sent the message, and we probably wouldn't be having this going on in the MLB.
No, they didn't punish any players.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
it.
That there was
Yeah.
no
They let all the
The reason
players
why-
go.
The ones
So
that were
now the players are punishing them.
The reason why is they couldn't punish them because they needed the information from the players. So they gave them basically immunity, saying, look, we won't punish you if you tell us what happened.
So basically what you're saying, it's like in
They
football.
did, but they didn't have that agreement with the other players that the other players wouldn't
Right.
punish them.
Oh, no, that part, yeah. But the funny part is that's the year that they played the Indians in the playoffs. And Corey Kluber, I don't know if you ever follow Corey Kluber. He's very soft-spoken, doesn't trash anybody. You know, he's right down the middle. He actually said after one of those games against the Astros in the playoffs, he actually said, it's like they knew what I was throwing. And for
Because
him to
they
come
did.
out to say that, huh?
Because they did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For him to come out to say something like that, which he would never, you know, he was in Cleveland for what, like 7-8 years. So, you know, you get to know these players. He would never have said something like that before. But when he came out and said that, everybody's like, I don't know. But it was true.
You know how to get back at Houston right now with them being in every stadium? Is you just get the mascot to go out there when they're pitching, and you just have the mascot standing behind home plate, banging on the trash.
No. Well, there's no mascot.
No.
No, what I said, there's no fans, but they're allowed to have the
No.
first pitch and all
No.
that. But
They're not
I don't
allowed to
think
have
they're allowed-
mascot.
No.
I don't
Nope.
think so.
Nope.
wow, I mean, there's no point to having a mascot, but I'm just saying.
Now,
For that, there is. For doing that, yeah, there's a reason.
Watch, and you're gonna see it next week now.
I was watching that game, and the one thing that, because I've watched a few games and they're, pumping in the fake fan noise,
Which is
Houston
stupid.
actually had, like, when their guys did something good, they actually, whoever was running the sound in their booth, they actually had applause. So, and cheering going on. So when Houston did something good and made a good play, you actually heard cheers. And the commentators were even saying, if you didn't know by looking at the seats, if you had, just a closed vision on just the players, you'd swear to God you had fans in the stadium.
Oh, that's how it was on 95.3 last night. We're listening to the Indians game. I'm like, why does it sound like there's people there?
Right. But like I said, the interesting thing was Houston one-upped it and put cheering and everything when stuff went right. And then when it didn't, they turned around and had booing. So it was real interesting that they one-upped it, because so far the other games that I've watched, all it's been is just basic noise.
Tom Hanks, I guess, has made recordings for Major League Baseball to be played in stadiums where he's the hot dog vendor.
Yes.
So you could hear him in the background going, "Hot dogs here, get your hot dogs." Not a game without a hot dog.
Can you imagine the guy in the Jake? Cold beer. You can hear him from the other side of the stadium.
The guys from Detroit, I don't know if you ever, guy from Indians beats the drum all the time, up in the stands. They won't even let him in. Major League Indians want him in there. Major League Baseball said no. Well, they pumped his, he only hits the drum when there's someone on second base or more, second or third or first and third or whatever.
Position.
They were playing the drum when there was no one on base. I'm like, dude,
it's not right.
They don't even know how it works.
The kid running the board is screwing the poop. Yeah.
It's not right. So like that's why I posted on Facebook the other day. I said, if you're don't pump in his noise, because it's not going to be the right way. It's not going to be
You're not doing it right.
You're not doing it correctly. So
I loved it when the bases were loaded the time and he was just pumping that thing up, and I'm like, just get this hit, baby. Just get this hit. Just pumping the crowd up. I loved it.
All right, I'm out of here. I gotta get up.
Well, I've also got some unfortunate news. I've found out why nothing is getting broadcasted through. Unfortunately, Doug doesn't know, but however his group settings are set is why we can't get any shares out of the ordeal. People have been trying to kick through the shares, but it's coming up as all of our video is unplayable. It's really weird. But yeah, it says that it's only contained to the person's privacy settings and their group, because it may only have been shared to a small group.
No,
I know how you shared it, but then the sharing from your initial post won't let us continue on when it gets to those other pages. It comes up as you can't share it. Now you can see it. We all can see it because we're all connected as friends in our group.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can see it. Mary has been communicating back and forth with myself and Dave over about the past 45 minutes. And I've ran a couple of little tests on the shares and everything, and then had Mary send me the screenshots. And yep, that's unfortunately why this episode is going to kind of be a little tricky for getting it as a replay, but I will do my best. We'll see what happens. We'll turn around and try to get it squared away.
I think I might be done though, guys. This might be my last week for a while. Gabriel starts football, and practice is from.
You guys at least get football. Ours has been pushed to spring.
Yeah, he's gonna have practice 4 days a week for the next month, and they go all the way till like 9 o'clock on during the weekdays. The practice starts at like 6.
Oh wow!
It's gonna get dark quick.
9 o'clock is about what time it starts getting dark around here, so practice will end just about the time it starts getting dark.
Well, once you have things confirmed, let us know. But you know, your seat won't get taken. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I was going to say
on a short note,
I have heard from Mr. Durkin, and I believe Mr. Durkin may if we lose you out, we may be regaining back Mr. Durkin starting next week. So
Nice.
that
Hmm.
we won't be down and out too much.
this one,
Especially if we also obtain Mr. Schrod's back again, you know. So I think we're still solid. We'll be good. We know you'll sit there on the messenger and still harass. So, you know,
Oh yeah.
that's just obvious.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
so I want to break
Correct.
the news to you guys. George and I have been doing something for the past 3 weeks. Making sure what we do has been okay with somebody else. We talked to them. What we really want to do is try to reach out to the Cleveland section, stuff like that. Our viewers also. 1 week.
But right now we have no viewers on here. So,
well, I'm saying whoever goes back and watches it. We'll say it again next week because I know we had some difficulties. Inside this box is an actual signed helmet from a team. Now, I have not decided yet if we're going to do the helmet or the jersey. These are actual MLB teams. Since we're in baseball season, what the probability is going to be is that people who are viewing the show, you're going to end up coming and comment. You're going to put your name down with your team, and we're going to fill up all 30 teams. So it has to be 30 viewers or more. First one that comes in for the team gets into the drawing. I'm going to make a list that day, and at the end of the show, we're going to open the box, and whatever team comes out is who wins.
So since I view it while we're doing it, can I play?
We will also be setting on the side. We are going to do auction draws, which a possibility may be in the same similar format, or we have thought about changing it up and doing other things. Right now, I have 2 jerseys and a helmet. We were talking about doing some mini helmets for football season and maybe some baseballs. There have been baseballs popping up lately, so I'm just trying to give out a nice full branch on our viewers, other people out there that like sports memorabilia. So,
Cool.
And hockey may be on the table too, guys. I'm just saying,
Maybe when we get our shit together, and actually broadcast, people actually know this information.
Right.
Like I said, well,
actually,
we're never gonna get our shit together.
hey,
George and I have been
our
doing
legs.
drawings with Blood City. They were one of the ones that we were talking to. We were either doing some things with them to help us with doing it, or maybe we didn't want to cross paths with them because they to do it.
yeah, and Mud City actually also does share our show, which is something else.
That's
why
one of the reasons
we're
why
being very cautious about.
Correct. We didn't want to
and we just discussed things with them and
with people.
making sure that everything's cool. So, like I said, that's something it's a future project.
Yep.
So just a FYI. But with that being said, it's 11:05 and it's time to get the flock out of here.
All right, bud.
So Doug, if you take the 3 dots and then hit stop stream, it'll stop the stream and the broadcast.